So long, man. Have a good rest.
Fuck you! Help me! Taking maybe one step more. I really lost my
This is, oh my God, I've never seen.
Unbelievable.
Second year anniversary main event. Flex.
What is going on here?
Anniversary.
He's not gonna.
Oh, he drops him like a bad habit. 1, 2, 3, it's over.
Did you see him dropping?
Oh, he's wrapping him in.
Don't tell his face.
But it's over. Joe's so delicious, wrapping him in bubble wrap. And he's going to pop it on him.
Don Tony and Jay Lover, the victor.
Your winners, Jay Lover, Mandy Flex, and Don Tony!
What a match! What a main event! Hardcore to the fullest. DPW can do it. We've got it all here.
Every Thursday night, you ask the questions, DT gives you his answers. No holds barred.
It's Q&A with Don Tony. This is your chance to speak your mind and be heard about anything.
Q&A with Don Tony. And now, your host, Don Tony. Don Tony. Don Tony. Don Tony.
Should I do it? No chance. No chance. Cut the music. Good evening, everybody. It is Thursday night, June 17th, 2021. I am back. Pretty busy week this week. How's everybody doing? Much love. Much love. Appreciate everybody. Shout out. There we go. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in live right now. If you would like, you're more than happy to post what state or country or city that you're tuning in from. You don't have to put your personal address or phone number. We do not recommend that. But I want to thank you all for tuning in. It's going to be a fun night. Got a couple of things to talk about. Majority of the show are going to be your questions and your calls. We're going to take calls almost right off the bat. There's 2 or 3 pieces of information that I definitely want to bring up, that I know you definitely want me to bring up. And later on tonight, yeah, I actually put it together. The trivia contest today, it's not going to be who dat. It's not going to be a who am I. It's not going to be music trivia, but we're actually going to do all elite feet. All elite feet. What the hell is that? I don't know why. The other day I was just brainstorming, trying to think of like a unique trivia contest, and I keep thinking about the time that Mish gave Brandy Rhodes a little bit of a complex about her feet, even though I see nothing wrong with her feet. So I said, let's do all elite feet. So tonight, I am going to show you 4 sets of feet. No, none of them are without shoes and socks. They're boots. And all you have to do is tell me who these boots belong to. There's 4 of them. I promise you, it's not going to be hard. In fact, I know most of you out there will get 3 of the 4 within seconds. And just for a little example, that's Brandy's feet. You know, it was funny. Maybe it was just coincidence, but when Mish on his Wrestling Soup was cracking jokes about Brandy's feet, the following week she came out with photos and her feet were inside the sand. She didn't post her feet. Seriously, is there anything wrong? I don't think there's nothing wrong with Brandy Rhodes. You know, I know she gets a hard time from people. I mean, you know, I notice people don't realize we're in 2021. Personality, style, you know, just attitude is different than what it was even 10, 15 years ago. You know, I see nothing wrong with her feet, but she is not part of the contest tonight. And I honestly thought about putting her in the contest as part of a joke. But then I also got to think a little bit outside the box, and I'm like, okay, I can imagine somebody saying to me, oh, DT, how many black women are in AEW that have, you know, black feet? You know, that's kind of like, so I'm not going to go there because this show and stuff I do is never about black and white. Everybody is treated the same. So she will not be part of the contest. But if we did, we'd have shown her feet without her head, and you basically would have said, guess the feet. Now, I mentioned this the other day. Few of you sent me emails and said, DT, man, put some of them up. Put some of them up. I got about 10 of these in the office. I got 6 of the Wyatt gym and 4 of the Christmas boxes. I had no idea how much these went up in price. This box right here is sealed. It has never been opened. The shirt inside is size extra large. If you go on eBay right now and look up this box, sealed, the average price is about $100. You look for one with a size XL, it's averaging $150 to $175. This box. And what is inside it, did not want to open the box. This is a stock photo from WWE, but everything you see, you get. You know, I just realized it. The Christmas decoration. Yeah, look at this. This is the Christmas decorations that I got. That's Huskus the pig. And it looks like it's the exact same one that's in there. Looks like the exact same one. Yeah. Actually, you know what? If you look at the shirt, it looks like a half-cut shirt on here. I don't know if you can see the half-cut shirt. But if you look at the box, it almost looks like he's wearing a bra. You see what I mean? It looks like he's wearing a bra. But then again, that's probably just his mouth covering it. And I'm sorry if I sounded a little bit distant. I was putting the statue back. But so someone tonight will win their choice of either this collector's box, or if you're not a size XL, or maybe you're not into Bray Wyatt anymore, and maybe you want something else, I will give a $100 AEW gift card instead. So your choice tonight is either the gym or the AEW gift card. We'll do that in a little while. And again, the topic will be all elite feet. Trust me, it's not hard. It's not going to be difficult. Now, before we get into your questions, your super chats, your calls, I definitely want to throw up a segment. I want to put a picture up for a second. George Rivera, I agree with you. Tony Atlas would love it. He'd love it. Wouldn't Snitsky also? Didn't Snitsky have an infatuation with feet too? I thought Snitsky did. Did you guys see what WWE posted literally 5 minutes before I went live? I always set up my show a couple of hours early. Unless it's hectic over here or I get home really late, I always set everything up early. This way, if I run into any problems, I don't have to, reach out for someone and please, I need help. Please, I need help. It gives me enough time usually to iron out whatever the issues are. And I'm noticing a little bit more of quirks in my streaming software, maybe because I have so many things loaded and it can't handle it. But usually right before I go live, I check to see if anybody died last minute, if anybody got fired or released. I know on TV tonight with Impact Wrestling, they finally did the storyline of Don Callis being fired from Impact. So Don Callis will now be a regular on AEW only. But then again, when Kenny Omega has to defend the championship, if they do it at Slammiversary in their building, Don Callis will be there. Be interesting. If Impact really wants to do the storyline, he's not allowed in the building. I don't give a shit. He's Kenny Omega's manager. You're fired. You're fired. Hey, at least this Don is still employed. Sort of. But anyway, let's stop beating around the bush. 5 minutes before I went live, I checked to see if anything late breaking came up. And when I saw this, I actually had to research a little further because it seemed like I was reading it wrong. Ready for this, everybody? Take a look at this. Rey Mysterio will now challenge Roman Reigns in Hell in a Cell tomorrow, Friday. Now, you remember yesterday I said that I was invited for Thunderdome again Friday, and they told me to show up at 7:15. Usually they have me show up 15 minutes before the main event. I don't recall them ever asking me to show up 45 minutes before SmackDown even airs. So now I'm starting to think, okay, they are going to pre-record some of this Hell in a Cell between 7:15 and 8. I mean, obviously, if I accept Thunderdome tomorrow, it's not easy. I prepare for the show. Tomorrow night, we're doing a live watch-along of AEW, which we don't have to get too deep in, so that's not really a lot of work. But I'm also going to do Hell in a Cell predictions. I'm also going to recap SmackDown. So sitting on the computer, in Thunderdome, unless I'm on camera, on TV, if I'm not shown tomorrow within a few minutes, I'm disconnecting. But now I'm saying to myself, maybe this is why they want us to show up at 7:15, 45 minutes before SmackDown. Now, that really makes sense. You got Hell in a Cell on Sunday, and they're actually going to do Rey Mysterio versus Roman Reigns, Hell in a Cell, tomorrow, Friday, Fox. Number one, it's Fox, it's regular TV, so this Hell in a Cell is going to be more like Heck on the Deck. It's going to be like slight rage in the cage. Come on, man. I don't want to see a fucking Hell in a Cell on SmackDown. Come on. Shit. I honestly thought that I was reading it wrong. I'm like, okay, so DT, something's not comprehending. It does not compute. That's what they're doing Friday. Well, I will tell you this. I will join Thunderdome tomorrow at 7:15. If you follow me on Twitter, at DonTonyD, I will immediately post there. And I'll tell you, I'm going to start utilizing the community section on YouTube a lot more because I understand now that so many of you like to socialize on YouTube. In fact, I'm not trying to bite off of Jason Solomonster. I mean, I do appreciate good ideas. And if I take an idea from someone, it's not stealing and it's not ripping someone off. But we have a Discord channel already. And, there's some very respectable people there, no question. But I notice over the last 6 months, there's about 15 people who pretty much take over the Discord channel. And if someone shows up there that doesn't really go there all that much and wants to talk about something else, they usually ignored, shouted over. If somebody tries to put my stuff over, they look like, that they're walking around the street bare naked, like something is wrong. And, I see a lot of people, not a lot, but once in a while, people will crack some jokes when other shows are on, and then everybody gets a good laugh out of it, and then the person deletes the comment, not realizing that I own half the fucking Discord channel, and I see the audit log, message deleted from asshole. And then you see what the message is before it was deleted. I was like, okay, all right, no problem. I know what's going on. I played a game, no problem. I play it differently. But so I'm going to start utilizing the community section more. So maybe I'll come up here tomorrow night, like around 7:30, and I'll post in the community section what's going on before SmackDown airs. Because if the Hell in a Cell is going down before SmackDown airs, I know a lot of you don't like spoilers, but maybe it's something interesting you want me to bring up. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so much love again. Big shout out to everybody who's live. Oh, is this cut off a little bit? Fucking hate when that happens, man. Let me see if I could kind of fix this a little bit. This thing's been a little bit quirky. See, now I can't even recrop things. Something's going on with this software, and you know what'll probably happen? I'll probably get a software update this weekend saying like, oh, fixes. I can't like reposition things once they are shown. So much love, everybody. Thank you for spending your Thursday night with yours truly. I'm going to do everything I can today to have the show end a little bit earlier, so you could enjoy some other shows out there, and whatever you do in your free time. I want to show you something else, and this is pretty interesting. And for the first time today, I'm actually going to screen capture a live website to show you in real time something that's going on. Hopefully, I don't have any problem doing it, because I see like a lot of shows, they'll go on a website and they'll actually go check things out. But did you see what was launched today regarding MJF? Did you see this? If you didn't see this, I got to show this to you. MJF issued press release, sort of, on his social media today. If you know what cryptocurrency is, you know about NFTs and the crypto coins and Doge and all that stuff. You know what's funny? When I was watching that YouTube channel, Scammer Revolts and a few others, I noticed the Doge dog, and these channels, I'm watching videos that go back 3-4 years. And I'm like, honey, like, when did this dog become like so popular? I thought they all owned the same dog. And the dog looked always the same. I'm like, these people, wow, these dogs all look similar. I had no idea that they were showing pictures of a dog because it's Dogecoin, not because they had a pet in their house. No wonder why you never, hear the dog barking in the background. So anyway, MJF posted this. Introducing the MJF coin. Just in case you've been living under a rock or just plain stupid, cryptocurrency is the future. That's why I'm doing you a favor by announcing the creation of MJF, a creator coin, also known as a social token, designed to create an economy around me, the fastest, youngest rising star in the history of professional wrestling. Why a creator coin? Creators and fans, and by the way, the reason why I'm reading this is because about 80 to 85% of everybody who tunes in checks it out audio only, so they can't see what I posted right now. Creators and fans are finding new ways to engage, and as much as I rather avoid any interactions with you poors, I benefit this just as much as you do. By masterfully creating my own coin, I'm giving you a way to be part of my personal economy. I can't think of anything smarter to be a part of, since I will go down as the greatest star who ever lived. By offering my social token, I intend to recognize my MJF coin holders with special giveaways, drops, exclusive access, and more. I will create a zero for peer-to-peer method for people in the extended MJF community to interact and trade with one another. Enable MJF coin holders the opportunity to receive rally rewards and each Saturday. It's a little small, the print that I'm looking at right now. Is this a cryptocurrency? Yes, duh, idiot. The MJF coin is created by the Rally sidechain. It makes it possible to swap MJF coins and Rally tokens, which are Rally Network's default economy. And just to wrap this up, he finishes up by saying, hang on, here we go. Oh, I got to, I don't have to disconnect the chat. Oh, I can't reposition stuff. Chat, you're going to have to disappear for a couple of moments. You could also convert Rally coins into ETHs, which can then be swapped into standard flat economy money. There is no lock-in, though, so there may be gas fees charged for each conversion. How do I get MJF? Oh, you go on the Rally site, create an account, you buy, blah, 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 blah. So there you go. Now, it looks like when this coin first debuted, it looked like it was averaging about $4 a coin. Because when I saw the transactions early on, I saw somebody like spend $10 and they got like, 4 coins or something like that. This just launched a few hours ago. Hopefully this works. This is live on the website right now. That is the average price right now for the coin. The weekly rewards, already they have that amount, 2.9K, to be dispersed this Saturday. And maybe about 3 hours ago, that was about 2/3 of that. And here's the crazy stuff. I'm going to click activity. Now, obviously, we can't see the people that did it, but just look at this activity. Now, some people were smart. They sold theirs quick, but look at the amount of money that's involved here. You got people dumping $200, $500, $750. You get a few people $5, $10, but they're trying to buy and sell almost like what penny stocks. If anybody used to do penny stocks, this just goes on and on and on. I could go all day long with this, but I want to go back to the main page. I want you to see just the overview. Look at this. Where is the overview? I got to see where. Oh, there it is. Look at the supported volume right now. See that? That is the US dollar value of the rally that is backing MJF. $186.4 thousand. He already has 758 people who have bought MJF coins. There's been over 1,100 transactions, and as of right now, there are 132.2 MJF coins circulating. I don't know. I don't want to say the guy is a genius, because honestly, if you go on Rally's page, actually, you know what? Let me see if we could go to the middle. Yeah, look at this. If we go by supporters only, look, he's already number 3 of all the MJF. But look at the support. Look at the first person, 620. This is crazy. Look at this. I almost want to make a coin. The Don Tony coin, DT coin. Look at this. It's by invitation only, so chances are, because I'm not a bigwig, I wouldn't be accepted for it. But that's crazy, man. That is just nuts. And I honestly don't think I'm going to get into this. I do have investments. But the thing is, I'm trying to pay off bills. I'm trying to get married. While others out there are just worried about how many likes they can get on a tweet, I'm trying to do a lot of things outside. I'm not going to lie to you. I took a nap before for like a half an hour, and I had this just horrible, horrible dream that I just walked into my old house, and it was just dead silence. And this overwhelming feeling came over me about, my parents no longer being here, because they both got some massive health issues. And I try to cherish every moment that I talk to them and spend time with them. And it's like, that's what matters. You know what I mean? So, I have some investment, not a lot, but that's for my future. I have been so tempted, even if I have to dip into a credit card and charge a couple of $1,000s and maybe get a little bit of crypto, or the shit that was going on with that AMC stuff. But, I just feel like I'm going to go down a rabbit hole and never pull out. So I'd rather invest in like mutual funds and some companies where they're secure. The crypto scares me, man. Don't get me wrong. If you remember what happened with me with Bitcoin several years ago, that was incredible. Like 7 years ago, just finding out that I had a couple of $1,000s in Bitcoin. For those that don't know the story about this, I'll tell you very quickly with Bitcoin. Bitcoin came out, about 15 years ago? Around? I don't remember exactly what. Let's say 15 years ago. Now, I am still part of this underground group called SoulSeek. SoulSeek.tk. Everybody exchanges music. You could get generic everyday music, but a lot of rare stuff. And since we used to be a DJ and have a lot of white labels, and, there's some music on there that no one has, you digitize it and then you put it up there and everybody trades back and forth, special mixes that you don't get anymore. So some guy had a different form of this underground network. And this was about 15 years ago. And he charged I don't know if it was like $20 or $29, something like that, but he only accepted cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Only accepted Bitcoin. So back then, I'm like, what the hell is Bitcoin? And, you had to sign up for this, finance account, and then you had to buy the coin. And then because the coin didn't match up the amount of money, so when I went to buy it, I think the minimum purchase was like $100 or something like that. I don't know if it was $100 or $50, but I bought either $50 or $100 of Bitcoin. Now, this is when it first started. I think it was $50 worth. So I gave him like $29.99, and there was like $20 left. And I was like, what the hell am I going to do with this Bitcoin? Like, I couldn't even find porn channels. Maybe like, you dump a couple of pieces of Bitcoin, support your favorite porn channel. I couldn't even find that. So I just forgot about it. Yes, it was $20, $21 worth, but I forgot about it. Then a couple of years later, I'm seeing on the news, Bitcoin, $20,000, $50,000, $40,000. And I'm like, oh my God. All I kept thinking about was whoever this guy was that only accepted Bitcoin 15 years ago, he must own his own desert island right now. That guy is a genius. I don't know who he was, but he was a genius. So I was talking to Mish about it. And Mish is like, why don't you check the account and see, what it's worth now? Long story short, the problem was when I set up the account 15 years ago, it ain't like now where you put in a cell number and they text you a code, security code, and you enter the code and then you could log in. You get that everywhere now, even on Twitter. You log in on Twitter, your cell phone gets the tweet, the text message. Back then, I had my home phone number on there. So when I went on the website, it says, please enter your cell phone number so we could text you a security code. I type in my cell phone and nothing happens. And then I realized I didn't have this cell number at the time. And I quickly figured it out that they had my home phone number. So I contacted them, and it took like 5 days to even get somebody to respond. Long story short, I had to send ID. I had to send, the driver's license. I had to send all this crazy-ass proof just so I can have the phone number changed to my cell number. After about 2+ weeks of doing this, and I almost gave up, I got finally a hold of my account, and we went in there. I know Mish is not here right now, but I sent him the screenshot. It was something like $4,000 or $5,000 just sitting there. And I was like, I'm cashing this shit out. Fuck that. I closed my account. I got about $4,000 or $5,000 from $20 in Bitcoin from whatever it was back in the day. Crazy shit. But I'm just really nervous about dumping a couple of $1,000s in there. I mean, if I could pull out as quickly as possible, you know what they say, you keep pulling out, you might end up getting somebody pregnant inadvertently. I don't want to keep buying this stuff and then pulling out, and then I don't pull out and I lose everything. So, it's a true story. Sent them. I might even still have the screenshots. I sent them screenshots because you know how I am. I always got to try to show proof of everything that I do because there's so many liars out there. But that's my Bitcoin experience. It was pretty wild. So, also, this. Okay, we brought it up yesterday. I got a lot of you that DM'd me, emailed me about this. And we are getting together. And I want to just make this short and sweet. Okay? For those that may not have found out about this yesterday, AEW is coming to Queens, New York, about 10 minutes away from my house. It is right by Flushing Meadow Park, right by Citi Field. If anybody is familiar with my neck of the woods, it is right off the Grand Central Parkway. It's right near Northern Boulevard, Roosevelt Avenue. It's right there. 20,000 seat stadium. Beautiful. Now, I want to make this crystal clear. I already talked to a few podcasters who are getting together. I am not interested in sending invites and throwing, requests out there to people who you know are not going to show up. This get-together is not about me, and it's not about JD, and it's not about Jason, and it's not about Soup if they go, and it's not about any of us podcasters at all. It's not even about AEW. It's about all of us that have been wanting to get together, now has a perfect opportunity to do so. Even if you don't like AEW, you want to just hang out, shake hands, have something to drink, hang out in the parking lot for a couple of hours. This is about everybody getting together. I have been doing this since 1997. I owe it to you that if you want to get together and I am 10 minutes away, I think that would be the ultimate, unless I was sick, unless I had a tragedy, unless I was arrested. And that's why I made sure I was going to the Lucky 13. After the amount of love and support that you've given me, the least I could do is show up and give it back a little bit. Shake people's hands. That's why I say with the YouTube stuff, why it was so important for me to do this. So you could see my face. I could see your face. I think it's the ultimate disrespect that someone won't show you their face. So this get-together I'm not going to tweet about it every week. Maybe when we get down to the final days in excitement, we'll keep bringing it up. But I'm not making this about me. And I'm not going to keep posting it so I could have 1,000 people say to me, oh my God, DT, this is going to be epic, amazing. We can melt together. Oh my God, this is going to be unbelievable. Oh, I hope you go. Please go, please go, please go. That is not what I'm looking for. This is about all of us getting together. The show will probably be pretty damn good because you do have some local homeboys going home. There's already some rumors going around that some local New York wrestlers that are not part of AEW may actually be appearing on that day. So this is about all of us getting together. So the invitation is open. And I quickly thought about doing a bus trip because people asked yesterday. Then I said, I don't know if that's really needed because even if people are going to fly in, you fly in Wednesday morning, you fly out Thursday morning. It's not that big of a deal. Plane fares are extremely cheap right now. LaGuardia Airport is only 5 minutes away. So I'm sure they have shuttle that goes to there. They definitely have the shuttle to the hotel. If they don't have shuttle from the hotel to Arthur Ashe Stadium, I will get the Coach USA bus. And I will fucking show up on the bus and pick everybody up from the hotel. And we shoot over to the stadium. Now, another option that we did not talk about yesterday is the skyboxes. I found out how much the skybox costs. I'm not going to say it here because I don't know if it's going to be higher or lower because of AEW. The skybox is not cheap, but it's almost like wrestlers staying in a hotel. Maybe the room is $600 a night, and no fucking wrestler wants to spend $600 a night and stay in a hotel room. But if you get 4 to 6 people to all chip in and stay in the same room, now it's not so bad. $100 a piece. Who wants to drive 100, 200 miles to make $10 doing a wrestling show? You waste more in gas and everything. But if everybody rides in the same car and everybody chips in a little bit for gas and food and this and that, it's not so bad. Plus you have good vibes. And I play these little clips from the stuff I used to do in the indie wrestling stuff. I know some people, think that I'm trying to trigger haters out there. No, I'm trying to enjoy and reminisce of what we used to do. But the one thing you can't take away from there is how great the vibe is. And that's something that is missing quite, significantly in this world right now because of COVID and a lot of other things. But the thing is, we're all, if you can come, it would be awesome. But I warn you, stay away from the people who are going to make it about them and tease. I might go, I might not go. I don't know if I want to go, I might go. I don't know if I have to worry, I might go, I might not go. Because all they're wanting is for a bunch of you to keep begging them, oh, please, it'll be awesome, please. There's going to be fans doing that. There's going to be wrestlers doing that. There's going to be podcasters doing that. If you're going to go, just go. Because I'm going. I'm going. It's not even a question. Now, with the Skybox, if we could get like 30 or 40 people, hardcore, together, we could get 2 Skyboxes back to back. And we basically sit in the Skybox. You know, you could still see the arena, you know, the ring pretty good. You got the screens in the rooms. They give you hors d'oeuvres. They give you shrimps, vegetables, hors d'oeuvres. I just almost said herbs. They give you soda. It's all included. You know, it's not cheap, but, you know, you get 20 people, you know, 40 people with 2 Skyboxes. It's not bad at all, man. So we might do the Skybox. Another thing is I already reached out to someone who I'm friendly with in AEW, and I said, look, could you find out, you know, if I could possibly get a section of seats, like 200 seats? I'm not kidding, like 200 seats. I mean, obviously, you know, we're going to probably get the $25 tickets, but, you know, if we get enough people that all want to just hang out in one section, and we got, you know, the extended family, not just me, other podcasters also, we all hang out in one section and be the loudest section of the night, not cause trouble, but just have fun, and might do that too. So tickets don't go on sale until July 16th. So we got plenty of time to figure out which way we're going to go. So if you're serious about going, reach out to me, the community section, email, DM on Twitter, whatever's easiest for you, and I will gather. And what's cool about it is I met a lot of you at Lucky 13. So I know who is pretty serious about getting together, and I know who's just talking out of their ass. And there's some of you out there that just can't. There's some of you that cannot get out of work. There's some of you that don't live in the area. There's some of you that are only getting back to some normalcy. I don't expect every single person to go. And let me tell you something. If they sell as good as it's anticipated, they will be coming back to Arthur Ashe Stadium at least once or twice a year. You know, this is almost going to be like what WWE was to like Barclays, you know, or when they went to Jersey. So, you know, there's going to be more than one opportunity. And remember, November is the big event. I'm going to the big event. I don't know who else is going yet. So we're going to have some opportunities to get together. And, you know, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, you know, I just wanted to make it clear that it's not about me or any one person. It's just about all of us getting together. Finally get to shake some hands that I have never been able to do so yet. See some of you that I haven't seen in a long time. You know, that was one of the coolest things about going to the big event right before COVID struck. You know, there was so many familiar faces and people that I never met before that enjoyed the shows and even went back to the hotlines and just coming up. And I remember I was wearing my Don Tony shirt, and I remember a couple of people like trying to make fun. Like, why is he wearing his own shirt? You know, that's what mostly people like that are wrestlers or podcasts, what they do. They wear their own shirt. And I wore my own shirt so people there would know that it's me. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I hope we get all of us together. I think it would be pretty damn cool. So anyway, I'd like to get into SoFly's super chat. By the way, I'm like really dehydrated today, so you're gonna probably see me down a little bit of the bubbly. A little bit of the bubbly. I got a half a bottle of club soda, and I got about this much of water. So I'm a little thirsty today. I didn't have any big bottles of stuff. They're all in the dishwasher. So I'm going to take a sip of this, and then I'll answer SoFly's super chat. My top 5 wrestling theme songs of all time? Ooh, of all time. Undertaker. First one. It was just awesome. Used to get chills when I would hear it. Loved the Undertakers. Demolitions was awesome. I don't want to include any wrestlers who used mainstream music, because if I do that, then I'm going to get into Leonard Skinner and others. You know, I mean, some of that music was just perfect for the wrestlers. Even the Steiners or Bam Bam, when they used to come out to Welcome to the Jungle. I know some of you out there can't stand that song anymore. But trust me, when that song would come out and you hear, and then they would come through the curtain, oh my God. It's freaking awesome, man. Then you go to, I look, New Jack's music, you know, even though I couldn't recite the lyrics, this white Italian goof reciting NWA's lyrics looks kind of awkward. But his music was awesome. But, yeah, Larry Jive Soul Bro was pretty good too. I liked Akeem the African Dream. I can tell you that from my neck of the woods, they liked Akeem. It was such a far cry from 747, you know, the one-man gang. But when he came out there and he's just dancing this and that and he's doing his thing and he's like, I liked Akeem. Jive Soul Bro was awesome. Hogan's music obviously is iconic for me. Ultimate Warrior is another one. You know, Ric Flair's, I think over the years I've heard it too much. Macho Man's I've heard way too much. You know, I heard it at my own graduation. Even when I heard it when my niece, my goddaughter, you know, graduated a couple of weeks ago. You know, after it was done, they played the Macho Man music. And, you know, I don't remember who said it, but I remember somebody going, ooh, yeah. Everybody thinks of Macho Man. That's from my old school. You know, if I thought about it, I think probably top five. I think it would be better to do a top five from every federation. And maybe I'll do that next week. Maybe I will give you my top five from WWF, WWE, WCW, TNA, ECW. You know what? Even AEW, I got to give him credit. Ruckus does a pretty damn good job with that music. And I know some of you out there, you know, poke fun at some of the AEW themes, but just keep in mind that this is a one-man band. I mean, Ruckus is in his home studio, and he's got to come up with entrance music after entrance music after entrance music, and he tries to reflect the wrestler's style and their character. And for a guy to bang out that many songs in such a short amount of time, you know, that guy's a special talent. Seriously. A lot of people don't even know who Ruckus is. Cody's theme is not bad. Cody's theme is not bad at all. Oh, by the way, Daniel-san did respond. I emailed him earlier, so he got the Johnny Gargano autographed and framed plaque, that giant thing, you know, the Triple Crown one. And by the way, I apologize if you see me do this today. No, I didn't do coke, but I haven't taken allergy medicine the last 2-3 days. I think that's why I got headaches and I'm dehydrated. So Kane's theme was on. You know what? Jericho's first theme in WWF is probably in my top 3 of all time. I still, to this day, you know, it's a weird thing. I know this might sound ridiculous to some of you out there, but, you know, there's moments in our lives that something happens and you get this chill down your spine. Sometimes that chill is for something epic, something you've been waiting for wrestling, something WrestleMania, something, a return, a surprise. You get that chill down your spine. That's how much it affects you. Then you get those chills when tragedy strikes. Still to this day, when we found out about Pillman, Owen Hart, Chris Candido. Chris Candido was the one that probably affected me personally the worst. And I still bring it up to this day. I know exactly what I was doing, what I was wearing, and I remember getting the phone call. I remember what was on TV at the time because, you know, WWE, they were doing the ECW stuff a little bit with Balls Mahoney and others. And Mass Maniac calling me right before I was going into my friend's restaurant to eat and have a couple of drinks for happy hour. And that chill that goes down your spine, it's just, I know a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I could tell you Jericho's theme, when they did the countdown and The Rock was in the ring, and and they finally counted down to 0 and the explosion, and then Jericho's name appeared. You hear that eruption. Don't even watch it. Later on, if you want, go on YouTube, go on Video Motion, whatever it is, and put it on and close your eyes and just listen to it. And when you hear, because you know the moment that Jericho's name pops up on the Titantron, you hear this roar from the fans. It's just a loud roar. Every time I hear that roar, not every time, but many times, I still get that chill down my spine. That is still my favorite Raw moment of all time. And I've watched every episode of Raw, and 98% of them first run. And Jericho's debut on Raw is still my favorite moment of all time. Goldberg's song is good. There's a lot of great songs. The Rock had some awesome ones. I loved some of the variations of The Rock in the Nation of Domination. That's why I miss Tombstone Radio, man. If you ever go on Wayback Machine, go on my website and go back to like 2001, 2002, and just check out my Tombstone Radio. It was so awesome. No one else has ever done that. And I got permission from WWE. You know, I know, I sound like Forrest Gump sometimes with all these crazy stories. Even yesterday, a few of you reached out to me like, holy shit, I remember that barbecue Flushing Meadow Park when we did that charity barbecue for, I can't remember his name, of the Shaolin Wrecking Crew. Like, I'm banging out all these stories and everything, and, people are like, you have too many stories. The difference is, though, is 99% of the time, my stories can be proven. Everybody is still alive. I got video. You could go on Wayback Machine and see everything. When I first told the story about owning ECW, owning the trademark for ECW, people didn't think it was true until they looked. Then when I got sued from WWE, people have said to me, you should write a book. I think I'm too lazy to write a book, but I look back in all this stuff, and it's been a wild ride, man. And I realize that there's a lot of podcasters out there that are bitterly jealous that they never got to experience all of these things, or the opportunities. Few have. I'm not saying no one has, but you can never take that away. And I'm telling you, I am so pissed off at myself for stopping about 10 years ago. Stopped about 10 years ago. And, obviously I met my fiance. It's going to be 9 years in October. So obviously, I had to focus on my relationship. But, man, I'm just pissed for stopping 10 years ago. Pissed. So, anyway. Got another super chat I'd like to share. Rye Baker, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. Thank you for another great show. Who has the best gimmick on WWE's main roster right now besides Roman Reigns? Besides Roman Reigns, I tell you, man, I know this might be a little questionable to some. I think Apollo Crews is knocking it out of the park right now. Him and General Aziz, I think, when we first heard the accent, no, this is really me. Now, the funny thing is, you do even something like I just did, that's racist. Some really weird people out there. But I think Apollo has been nailing it. Sami Zayn, if it was more than just Kevin Owens for the most part, I would say Sami Zayn has gotten into a zone where, he's always been entertaining, but him just, flaunting and dancing and doing some of the things that he does. And, I still have the shirt inside. When he wins a championship, then I'll put the shirt on and I'll do the Sami Zayn dance. But I think Apollo Crews has been nailing it. I also have to tell you, I absolutely am enjoying the shit out of RK Bro. Some of it's stupid, but I could get past that. And RK Bro has been great. I don't want to see them break up anytime soon. I'd like to see them stay together up to WrestleMania, if that's possible. So I go with RK Bro. MVP, it's not really like gimmick. You know what I mean? Like, he's a great manager. He's a great mic piece. And he's great at storytelling and convincing. The story that they're doing right now with him and Kofi, I don't think Kofi's turning heel. I think Kofi will ultimately, there's a word, brain fart. Low in electrolytes. Kofi will ultimately say no one too many times to MVP and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley will beat the crap out of Kofi, and then we will probably see a match between Kofi and Bobby Lashley. I kept thinking about Rey Mysterio for some reason. I think that's why that happened. I kept thinking about Rey. Rey was on the brain. Yeah, that's what I would go with. I think those are great. Look, you really dissected. There's some wrestlers right now that are doing a really damn good job in what their role is. You know, I even think, and look, as much as some of the stuff with the Alexa Bliss, I'm not enjoying as much as I used to, but there's no denying it. Alexa Bliss, for her role, she's killing it. She's doing a phenomenal job at it. It's not her fault of some of the stuff. You know, somebody set the doll on fire already. You know, she's in timeout. Like I said the other day, I don't think they're getting rid of the Lily doll. They got to get merchandise. There's crazy merchandise money to be made. I think the timeout is simply because she forgot the doll. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, I forgot the doll. She's home right now. It would have been funny if that guy that broke into the building and stole some of the gear, and now they found out one of the items was Sheamus's cross. Fella, return my cross, fella. You know? I think that's what happened. I think somebody just forgot to bring the doll, and that's why she was in no-show on Monday. So, you know what I would like to see? I'd like to see Reginald dress up as Lily. For real. You know we're getting voodoo shit on Sunday, right? You know we're going to get Reginald that's going to show up. Like I said, is it going to be like dopey, naked gun-like? You know, I must kill the queen. I must kill the queen. Alexa Bliss is just going to look at Reginald like this. Trust me, she could look at a lot of people on social media like this, and they probably would be in a trance also. But she's going to give the look to Reginald, and Reginald's going to be like, I must kill Shayna. Not kill, but you know what I mean. Please, please. In a perfect world, what I want Alexa Bliss to do is to do this to Reginald. And I want Reginald to climb the top of Thunderdome, the top of the building, and like almost like the Giant when they had the monster truck challenge with Hogan, and he fell off the building. I want Reginald to go up and do the Cirque du Soleil thing off the building. We don't have to see Splat. We don't want him to really do it. He could land on cushions and then go to, you know, the hotel after. But please, I don't understand what the infatuation is with this guy on this television. I have nothing against him personally. But, you know, if to me, not Tamina, to me, every female that has been circulated around Reginald, that it has not helped that female at all. It was a horrible storyline with Sasha Banks. Then they put, you know, Bianca Belair in there, and they're like, you let him on. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, it's Then they put Nia Jax, my baby, or whatever that is. And then Shayna, now there's nobody has benefited from him. Nobody. Yeah, and it started with Carmella. That's right. That's right. Would you like another glass of red wine? I picked it myself. throwing it right in his face. That's right. Damn you, Carmella. The hottest woman in WWE. Hottest, but not the smartest. Just think about, I just realized it. Think about how many women they've already put in the storyline with Reginald. Is this like the running gag now? Is this like a requirement? Like, okay, you want to be on the main roster? You have to do a storyline with Reginald. Whether he serves you or you serve him or you slap him or he does this. What women are left? We got Natty and Tamina. And they might have even interacted with them. Didn't Charlotte do something? Didn't she like bitch slap him once? How many women? Wow. I'm kind of actually like envious of the guy. But I don't understand, like, who thinks that this guy has any value on TV? I don't know. I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, he's not bad, but damn you, Carmella. Damn you. Wogga Wogga Man. Whoa. Who. Wogga Wogga Man. Say that fast 10 times. Wogga 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 Man. And I'm not making fun of you, by the way. Who do you think is better looking? Mandy Rose or Eva Marie? Well, since I like brunettes, neither one would be my preference. Wow, but that's a damn good question. That is a damn good question. Actually, you know what? Oh, I can't put both on the same time. We'll leave his thing on there. Actually, you know what? I'll put you back on the screen in a second. Everybody, I want you to post, in your opinion, who do you think is sexier, Mandy or Eva? You could only pick one. And when I say Eva Marie, I don't mean Piper Niven, even though some people actually think they are going to call her Eva Marie. But I tell you, Mandy Rose, I think, edges her out. I think Mandy Rose edges her out. You know why I say that, honestly? Eva Marie is one attractive woman. No doubt about it. She works her ass off to have that kind of body, as does Mandy Rose. But to me, it gets to a point where I don't want to say that somebody's too perfect, but as beautiful as Mandy Rose is, her personality comes across like she's approachable, like you can have like a nice conversation with her. Eva Marie, I don't know her personally, so I'm not going to knock her personality. I don't know her. But the perception I get is that unless your muscles are bigger than my head, or you have some type of big fame status, like if you actually like even walked past her and COVID never existed, like you'd be required to wear a mask, wear plastic gloves, don't look my way, and I just think, like, I don't know, there's some people that are just too out of our league, and that's how I feel about Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose being Italian, yeah, look, I mean, I'm Italian too, so, Italian is always a good thing. But, for me, nationality is not like top priority. If that was the case, I would be with my fiance right now. She's not Italian. But I got to go with Mandy Rose. Seriously. I just think Mandy Rose, as far as the total package, I actually think she's better than Eva Marie. So, salute Guardian of Chaos as well. So, interesting choices. I think a majority of you said Mandy Rose as well. But that is a damn good question. You can't go wrong. I remember about 6 or 7 years ago, I did a little tournament thing online, incorporated with the shows. Every week we would put head-to-head 2 women, and people would vote which one they just thought was hotter. I think Trish made it to the finals. I don't remember who went up against Trish. Remember, this is 6, 7 years ago. But it was Trish against someone. I know Maria Kanellis went really, really far in the contest as well. But, Austin remembers. I still have screenshots. I got to pull it up and see who won that. So remember the Blackheart year-end awards? We could never do half those awards. Now, what was it? The Comfort Inn Award? And I spelled comfort, C-U-M-F-O-R-T. Back 20 years ago when I was doing the hotline still, the Blackhearts, we would do year-end awards in wrestling. And one of the awards we do would be the Comfort Inn Award. And it would be spelled C-U-M-F-O-R-T. And the woman that you would want to go to the Comfort Inn with more than anyone else. And, it was pretty wild back then. I mean, if I ever did that now, boy, have times changed. Could never do that now. Never. I feel too creepy, though. I feel too creepy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand 18 is legal age, but sometimes I get DMs. I'm not going to lie, I get DMs from female listeners. And just because you're a supporter of the show, it's not a sexual thing, obviously. But, when they're like, oh, thank you so much, for all you do, and I love the work, keep up the good work and everything. And I'd be like, oh, thank you. And then they'll follow up with like a little bit of a conversation. And I look at the profile and I see 18, 19. And it's like, I don't know, I kind of feel a little awkward. And I'll never go into Velveteen Dream category. If somebody asks, look, sometimes we get very, very young listeners that will email me and ask me a question here and there. I'll always answer it. But, that's pretty much where it ends. That's why, remember that listener, Don Pony, I think it was? He was like, 12 years old? And he's sending me like all these long conversations. I'm like, look, I can't answer you. I'm sorry. I know, you enjoy, but, plus you're using my name on top of it. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable with that. Seriously. It just makes me feel a little uncomfortable. Let's answer a couple of more super chats. Then we'll take a couple of calls. Then we might do the contest early. Remember, all elite feet. Crazy Cruiserweight. Thank you, my friend, for the super chat. He just wanted... Now, that was not whoa for Woogaman. I think that's him wanting me to do Taz from back in the day. It's not easy to do, man. I mean, I can only imagine, because he used to say that Vince used to yell in his ear about some of the things that he would say. I could just imagine Taz doing that on SmackDown. Kurt Angle climbing the top. I could picture Vince on his headset going to Taz in his ear like, what's this? What are you, remember the Three Stooges? Oh, I can imagine the shit that Taz got handed to him. Oh, my God. But it was annoying, though. If I was Vince and I hired Taz and he was on the TV doing that, I'd be in the earpiece too. What? It's almost as annoying as soon. I can't tell you how many times I do that now. I can't. I had a guy earlier today, I swear on a stack of Bibles. I swear on God that this is true. I had a guy earlier today, has car insurance with me, and he replaced the vehicle. He brought his car back to the dealership and was getting a new car, and he wanted to exchange the insurance, and they were going to transfer the plates from his older car to the new car. So he calls me this morning. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go to the dealer this afternoon to pick up the car. Could you do the ID card and the binder? I said, sure, no problem. So I asked him for the dealer's number. I call the dealer up. The dealer gives me the bank info, the VIN number, and everything. So I do the paperwork. At around maybe like 1:30 today, the guy calls me up. And he's like, did you send the ID card and the binder over to the dealer yet? I said, no. I said, I'm going to do it in a few moments. He's like, well, I'm going to go over there, shortly. I said, yeah, no problem. I'll do it in a few minutes. About maybe a half hour later, he calls me up again. And he says, look, I'm not trying to be a pain in the ass, but I'm going to go over to the dealer now. When will they expect the ID card and the binder? I swear on fucking God, I wanted to turn around and go, soon! Oh, swear to God. I actually wanted to grab my phone and actually put him on speaker and just record it and then put it out there. Soon, he'll have the ID card and the binder. No joke. People out there with the gangster that unfortunately died of lung cancer, I still got his last voicemail message. When I used to imitate him on the show, people were like, there's no way that your customer sounds like that. And then I don't remember what. I think it was one of the members-only Q&As for YouTube like 2 months ago. I played the voicemail. And they're like, holy shit, it does sound just like, hey, how you doing, Anthony? This is Tommy. Not Tommy. Tommy. Like Tommy Kitten? What is it? Hey, Anthony, this is Tommy. Tommy. So, there you go, crazy. Was it worth it? I think it was. Nick Kasman. Nick, thank you again. Remember, he went from a supporter to a member to the elite. The elite. Can I imitate Vince McMahon when he first heard the lyrics of Mr. Ass's theme music in 1999? I'm not going to lie to you. I liked the song. I even did a spoof of that song years later. I don't remember what the lyrics are. I would have to look it up. I would have to go to it. But I honestly think Vince enjoyed that song. I could picture Vince in the back. In 99, he could still kind of move around a little bit. I could picture every time that song came on, you know, when didn't we do that song? It wasn't to mock, who were we mocking? And it was somebody in wrestling, and I said, you know, I like to lick them. I like to kick them. I don't remember what it was, but it was a couple of years ago we did one too. But I could picture Vince in the back, you know, just getting into that song and shaking his ass to it, you know, that he's an ass man. But I don't have the lyrics in front of me. I could probably look them up really quick. Let me see if I can find them really quick. I know I apologize for those with the audio-only stuff, but, you know, this might be worth it. Ass Man. Oh, I got to be careful with this because I'll probably find like a whole bunch of different songs. Ass Man lyrics, WWF. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, I love to... Oh, wait, does he say lick them on you? No, it doesn't. I love to love them. I love to kick them. I'll do it the white boy version. Let me just move this over here. We could put the chat over here. Was it Tony Schiavone that was doing that? That people were paying Tony Schiavone to recite like really perverted stuff? My tits, my crack. No, my tits, my back, my pussy, and my crack. My tit. Something like that. I've never enjoyed the song. But I remember I think Tony Schiavone did that. People were paying Tony Schiavone to read those lyrics. Is it tits? It's something, what was it? My ribs, my back, my pussy, and my crack. Oh, my neck. What did I say, my ribs? I love to love them. I love to kick them. I love to shove them. I love to stick them. I love to flaunt them. I love to watch them. I love to pick them. And I'm going to kick them. Who fucking wrote those lyrics? Did we ever find out who wrote those lyrics? I don't think Jim Johnston wrote those lyrics. So many asses, so little time. Only a tight one could stop me on the dime. I'm a lover of every kind. The best surprises always sneak up from behind. 'Cause I'm an ass man. Buns of Glory. I don't remember this chapter. I'm having brain farts tonight, man. Buns of Glory. Buns of steel. Your lies won't give away the truth of how I feel. You walk behind me. I feel the heat. That's why the girls don't walk behind me down the street. I don't think whoever wrote that doesn't flow. That's probably why we never heard that section. Yeah. And then they repeat the same thing. I love to love them. I love to kick them. I love to shove them. I love to sit. They did not have lick in there, though. So I don't know why I thought lick. Yeah, this is getting a little bit deep. But I can picture Vince. I'm an ass man. I can picture it, man. I got to get the guy that has the... Oh, I'm going to get myself in trouble. Never mind. There's a guy at a gas station that I'm friends with. He's got a gas station. I'm not even going to say what nationality he is, but I could just picture him in his nationality going, 'cause I'm a gas man. Not even going to go there. It sucks that you don't mean any harm and it's just stereotypes and people immediately think it's just, that's why, look, like I said, what was said about Sheeta was not good because people were laughing and mocking it. But like I said, I truly think that's why Alex Abrahantes wasn't on for a few weeks. I think he was back on Dark, but I think he was off because when he told that, what was that announcer's name that got fired? When he told them, do Sheeta. I mean, obviously he heard that before and thought it was funny enough that he's telling them to do Sheeta. And he got such a pass on that. He has no idea how lucky he is that he got a pass on that. Willie Urbina, that's right. Willie Urbina. Did Willie Urbina ever apologize? I don't even know if he ever apologized. Or did he at least defend himself? Because I don't know. When I heard somebody say, do Sheeta, it means you heard it before. And you were not offended. Do Sheeta. What are we, in college? Willie Urbina. Yeah, Lee says he never apologized. Well, he's an idiot then. Seriously. I don't think he should have been fired. I think he should have been suspended. I think, what? Maybe they fired him because he didn't apologize. That could be it too. But, but look, I look at it like this. I would never do that. Back then, I would joke about anybody. I joke about Italians. I just did it 5 minutes ago. I would talk about anybody. It's not out of hatred. It's not out of malice. It's just, jokes. But, it gets into a territory where it's not funny. And I don't think what he did was funny. But obviously people had heard it before and they were fine enough where they were telling him to do it again. And, those people escaped. They escaped, I don't think an apology would have saved him that much, Eddie. But, man, if you're not a racist or what you did was in poor taste, why would you stay silent? You know what I mean? Like, we're in social media age. This is not 15 years ago. Somebody's accused of something horrendous. If I was accused of something horrendous, I would be on social media 5 seconds later, throwing it out there saying, look, everybody, I don't know what it is, but it's not fucking true. That's not true. That's not me. Period. You nip it in the bud. I think I will continue saying I think that was Velveteen Dream's biggest mistake. Yes, he made the first quick denial, and his attitude was, I didn't fucking do it. WWE sent my phone out to outside forensics, and they pulled all the content, even deleted stuff. They found nothing. So he felt he had nothing to prove. He didn't do it. WWE knew he didn't do it. Triple H went public. If people out there were like, no, that's not good enough, well, fuck you then. Fuck you then. I didn't do it. It was sent out to forensics. Like I said, I don't know why people think that a billion-dollar company is going to, we're gonna do an investigation. Hey, Lisa, come here. Put that coffee down. Here, open his phone and see if you find any naked stuff or any horrible tweets. That's not what they did. They paid money for an outside investigator to do forensics. They had to get permission from the cell phone company to get the info. You think that there's master hacking that they could just pull up the deleted stuff? They have to get permission from the cell phone company. If anybody ever took a few moments to find out what is involved, to have forensics done on your phone to check for any criminal activity, they would understand that this was not just kept internal. And if something would have surfaced, whether they liked it or not, law enforcement would have gotten involved. But still, the way social media is, things snowball. If you do not clear it up immediately, it will snowball. And it will turn, and you say something long enough. Look, I talk it about now. Look at some of the fraud on social media. They say the same thing over and over again for years. They actually believe it. They believe half the story that they've told that is a lie. You put something out there long enough, everybody believes it. Everybody believes it. You know, I even talk about my family. I love my brother to death. Today I went to my father's store to buy a sweet potato for the bird. By the way, he's sleeping. And when I walked into the deli, nobody was wearing a mask, not even the workers. I have my mask in my hand. And I said, you don't have to wear the mask. They're like, no, the restrictions were lifted and everybody has been vaccinated. I said, well, not everybody. So I saw my brother. I said, Nicky, did you get vaccinated yet? He wasn't wearing a mask. He says, no. I said, Nicky, you know, there's some variants and stuff going on. You know, you're not a spring chicken anymore. You know, you got to be careful. And for those that don't know, the reason why my brother is the only person in my family that hasn't been vaccinated, him, his wife, and my two nieces, is because they believe that the vaccination causes fertility problems. And my brother does not want his kids to get vaccinated if they develop fertility issues down the line. Now, I know what you're going to say to me. Well, why isn't my brother himself getting vaccinated? Because he feels that if he's telling his kids they can't trust his vaccine, he's going to then get vaccinated. So, you know, he hasn't gotten vaccinated. They actually believe that. They believe that it causes fertility problems. You know, what are you supposed to do? So, a lot of lies, man. A lot of politics, you know, about Fauci. I told you all. You know, I do mean to brag sometimes. But last year I said July, August. That's when pandemic will be over. July, August. But I also said that you're going to find out a lot of shit about this vaccine that they knew about a year ago and did not tell it publicly. And that's because they never wanted a class of people to feel that they were left out of things just because they're not vaccinated. You got to put this all together for a minute. And, you know, we'll get right back to wrestling because I know that seems to be what's on everybody's mind tonight. But look at the pandemic. Early on, they said that the vaccines were racist because a lot of impoverished cities were having a difficult time getting the vaccine. Our mayor here in New York kept saying that it was misproportioned and there was an advantage for upper white neighborhoods to get the vaccine over black neighborhoods. And they were saying the vaccine's racist. Well, I set up over 100 appointments for people out there. Some were black also. And the one thing that I could tell you, and I said it back then, and I even put a link online, people could see for themselves. They opened up vaccination centers in a couple of high schools in Brooklyn, where the neighborhood is about 90% black. And they also did one in, I think, Elmont. That's about 75 to 80% black. And only people in those zip codes could go to those schools. Only people in those zip codes. All right, so now you could turn around and you could say, well, yeah, it's kind of racist also because you're only allowing people from those neighborhoods to get it. But the point is, okay, if people felt that the vaccine was racist and it wasn't being distributed evenly, all right, put it where only the people in the black neighborhood in Brooklyn and in Elmont, they're the only ones who could go to the place. Every vaccination center at times was sold out except for those. Because so many people were told, do not trust the vaccine. That Trump is only doing this and rushing this so he could get reelected. You even had our own president and vice president now say that they weren't going to get vaccinated. They didn't trust it. You tell that to all those neighborhoods that are you know, tuned to despise Trump and MAGA and everything else, and then you make it available and you're basically handing it to them, here, come, and they still don't come. So it was never any racism about it. But they did not want to reveal a year ago that if you got vaccinated, the chances of you getting reinfected is so low. And if you do, the amount of virus in your system is this much because now your body knows what to do. Look, if the bird decides to French kiss me in the mouth right now, if I go to my fiance's house and a 3 Yorkie starts licking me in the face, if I drop a Frankfurter on the floor and it's only the 3-second rule and I eat it anyway, there's all crazy ass germs involved. Do we get sick from that? 9 times out of 10, no. Because when that little germs get in your body's like, fuck you, and beats the shit out of it. Now with the vaccine, your body knows what to do if it gets COVID. So once you're vaccinated and you go through the whole process in the 2-week extra, waiting period, you get exposed to it. Your body knocks most of it out almost immediately. There's such little virus in you that it's almost impossible to give it to someone else. You'd have to be in the same room with that person almost face to face like this for 30 minutes. And they did not want to give the idea, if you're vaccinated, you could go back to normal. The reason why they did that is because if the perception was that upper class white neighborhoods had vaccines and they're allowed to go back and enjoy life like they did before, and you're saying that all these impoverished neighborhoods and minority neighborhoods are not getting the vaccine. Basically what you're saying is that, the upper class neighborhoods could go back and enjoy and go party and this and that, but meanwhile these other neighborhoods can't do it because they're not vaccinated. That's what they did for a year. They did not tell complete truth because they didn't want a whole bunch of impoverished neighborhoods to feel like, wow, we're all paying the price and we can't do that, but meanwhile everybody else can. And it gives the racial tensions even more. That's the truth. The problem was, little by little, information started to come out. And some reporters started to grill Fauci and others and said, what the fuck is going on with this virus? How many months did I say on the shows? Notice how they never tell you point blank, can I get sick again if I'm vaccinated? What is the percentage? They never told you the percentage. There was one study in a different country that Mish brought up that said it was like 99.7% that if you get hit again, the virus is so little in you can't do nothing. So once that started to trickle out and they realized, okay, now people are going to start realizing all of a sudden, if you're vaccinated, you could go hug grandma. Oh, you're vaccinated, you could do this, you could do that, you could do this. So the truth is starting to come out. How we got on that topic, I have no idea. Yeah, that's what antibodies do. And we'll probably need to get booster shots. I technically was the first podcaster to get vaccinated. No joke. I got vaccinated. The first shot was in January. So I got very lucky and I got it done very, very early. But now I'm probably going to be one of the first to have to get the booster shot also. So, but look, New York now is back to normal and, not back to normal, but a little bit. But AEW is going to sell 20,000 seats, 18 to 19,000 to be exact, for Arthur Ashe Stadium. And that event's only 2 months from now. July, August. WWE's returning to live fans July, August. That's why I'm so angry. Out of all the COVID stuff with wrestling, I think the thing that angers me the most is all the people out there that were trying to convince people that pro wrestling was never to ever return to house shows. It would be rare exceptions. And that's the lifeblood of wrestling. Whether it's an indie show like I used to be at in front of 150 to 300 fans, or a huge SummerSlam event, live fans is what is the lifeblood of pro wrestling. All those wrestlers, they hate the fact that they're not performing in front of live fans. VJ speaking facts. What did VJ say? Yo, listen. That's what he said? Oh, he's dropping rhymes. I'm scrolling back to see if there was anything beneficial. Hey, VJ, you still have that AEW? Be honest, you still have that replica title I gave you? Or did you hock it? Because today AEW announced that they're going to be selling replica belts. They're charging $700. $700. I wouldn't spend $700 on a belt. Seriously. You know, the only $700 I would buy on a belt is if it was a garter belt on like my favorite porn star of all time. Like, and she had to wear it in front of me and then take it off in front of me. I'll pay $700 for that type of belt. I'm not paying $700 for an AEW heavyweight title. Hell no. La dude. What's going on? Courtney Summers. Congrats again, Courtney. She is back to 100% good health. And keep fighting the fight. You know what I'm talking about. Charlie Conway, daughter in the mayoral race. I don't give a shit. I honestly don't. I think Eric Adams is the one that's going to win it. And I told everybody all along, Andrew Yang ain't winning shit. He's like in fourth place over here. Andrew Yang, remember what I said last year? When Zelina Vega first got released and they were pushing the union stuff and he was getting tweet hand jobs and he was doing interviews with Filet-O-Fish. Oh, what do you like? What's your favorite thing? What do you think of today? Do you think of the union? What's your favorite? He got so much play out of there, and I said, you're going to go to the end of 2021, and you're going to realize he ain't done shit for wrestling. Gabriela Cartieres, that ambulance fucking chaser, 90210, I hated that show. I never liked it when it was around. She did nothing. I had a very beneficial, what was the word she used with Zelina Vega? Had a very powerful conversation today with Zelina. What did you talk about? Cosplay? Because it didn't lead to nothing. Where are all the wrestlers that wanted to form the union? Nothing was happening. People thought they were getting behind this big movement. We're going to finally have you know when you're going to get a union? When WWE is sold. That's when you're going to get a union. Because NBC Universal, if they end up buying WWE, what do you think is going to happen? You think NBC Universal, when they have the stock meeting and all their billions that they invest in all these other companies, they're going to say, yeah, we got all these independent contractors in the wrestling business over here. He ain't really an employee, independent That's why I said, we were the first to say it and remember it. WWE is ever sold to one of these corporate conglomerates, that is the end of independent contractors. They will all be employees of said conglomerate. If AOL Time Warner would have kept WCW in business, nobody ever talked about that. What would have happened with the wrestlers? Wouldn't they have had to have been AOL Time Warner employees? Nobody ever talks about that. Why? Because nobody gets that deep. Nobody wants to waste the time researching stuff like that. You go back and you look at the AOL Time Warner merger in 99, 2000, or 2000, and you see all the money that they were losing on some of the other investments. It was the internet. It was, the crater that happened. That's what put WCW out of business. They had to cut their losses. They were trying to get rid of everything that was causing them to hemorrhage money. So, but nobody wants to dig that deep because that's not sexy. It's not sexy. So anyway, we've gone 90 minutes. I think maybe we should get ready to take some calls if you want. We don't have to, but if you want, I think some of you want to talk about a couple of things. Whatever is on your mind. We also got that trivia contest. Should we just bang it out now? We have the chat room on the screen, so I don't really need to do anything. Let's do it now. The winner will get their choice of either this never opened, mint condition, Wyatt Gym collector's box. The shirt in there is size extra large. This is everything that is in it. And yes, there is an autograph photo of the Fiend also. That shirt, the Huskus, the pig, the water bottle, everything is in there. I never opened it. So you can win that. And like I said, if you're not interested in that, you could put it on eBay and get at least $150 right now. Because eBay, they have all the odd sizes. You know what, medium? Like extra large seems to be the most difficult size to get. You know, somebody has small, 3XL, and yeah, I know people that have 3XL, but XL was the hardest one to get. So you could win that, or if you don't want that, you can have a $100 AEW gift card. And you can buy whatever you want. So we're going to do the contest now. Very easy contest. All elite feet. All elite feet. Now we got to get Brandy's feet back on here, so we could use her as an example. Okay. Here's Brandy's feet. I know the picture is a little bit off because of the chat room. Here is the contest. Very easy. I am going to show you 4 sets. It's feet, but it's boots. There's no way I would think that anyone out there would know what Brian Cage's feet would look like unless he had some whacked out tattoo that everybody knew about on his foot. So no, I'm not going to just show you bare feet. There's going to be no bare feet in this contest. I'm going to show you 4 sets, boots, shoes, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be 4 different wrestlers. All you have to tell me is who are the wrestlers that these belong to. You don't, I could tell you right now, thinking of the names are pretty short. So it's not like you're going to have to type like essays. And trust me, this is not difficult. It is not difficult. Like an example, if I would have put up this picture and I said, whose feet are that? You know, most of you would probably say Brandy Rhodes, you know, especially because of, you know, the comical stuff that Mish inspired this contest, by the way. He inspired it. I don't think Brandy has, look, if you look at the picture by itself, oh, wait, can I show it this way? Yeah. She don't look bad. She does not have ugly feet. I don't see there's anything wrong with her. She's not. But that's what her feet look like. So, but again, it's not fair. And I chose not to show bare feet. Like I said, if we had a couple of wrestlers, if I expanded it to other feds, I would have put Riddle. I probably would have put Riddle on there. If we would have went for yesteryear, I had a couple of ideas in mind, but I didn't want to do any bare feet with this. So I am going to show you now what 4 different wrestlers wear. All you have to do is tell me who they are. The first person that gets all 4 right wins. Now, I'm going to put all 4 pictures on the screen at the same time. So look at it. I was going to put them one by one to let everybody, you know, get their thoughts together. But I said, nah, we'll just put them all at the same time. So get your fingers ready to type. And I'm sorry for those that are not on YouTube right now. If you're checking out the show from the other mediums out there, if you want to jump on YouTube right now and take part in it, you're more than welcome to. I'll give you about 10, 20 seconds. But I'm looking at them right now. It's not hard. It's not hard. Some of these pictures are pretty infamous. If you follow AEW, I know you'll get 3 of these 4 immediately. And the 4th one, honestly, I don't see how anybody, if you're a fan of AEW, you should get these 4 immediately. Oh, yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Thank you, Lee. If anybody gets angry right now, you could blame Lee for this. For those out there that are tuning in and enjoying the show, I would greatly appreciate it if you can smash that like button. The more you do it, I know you can only do it 1 per episode, but the more of you that do that, the more that tells YouTube. And by the way, Monday's show, I can't thank you all enough for going out of your way for those likes, because we had at least, you know, I don't follow the analytics all that much, but we had a huge surge of YouTube recommending the show to others. Like every week we see what percentage shows up as far as browse categories, what shows up at search results. But Monday's show, it was much, much higher. So what are we at, 75 likes right now? Let's go to 83. 83. As soon as we hit 83 in the like department, I will post the pictures. So we're at 76, 77. Wow, if we get to 83 quick, I'll jump it to 100. We're at 81. Let's go. Let's see. Let's get to 88. Just for the hell of it, Michael J. Fox. Somebody liked my drawing yesterday, the Dexter Loomis. I think I threw the paper out. Let's go to 88. Let's go to 88. Shout out to Rashid Smith. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate it. I always love seeing some of you reach out that have been tuning in, but, in the background. I get a lot first time, long time, and that's awesome, man. I thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying the show, and much appreciated. Much appreciated. We're 85, 86. My thing might be a little bit behind. Wait, whoa. It just dropped to 31. We're at 31, everyone. 32. No, we're at 85. All right, let's do it. We're at 86. Let's do it. All right, get your fingers ready. First person that gets it right wins. When I see the right answer, I will yell out, we have a winner. I may let you go a little bit just so everyone could type their entry. But if I say we got a winner, then you have no shot of winning, obviously. So I'm going to count it down, everyone. We'll go from 10 to 1, and I'm going to put this on, and you're going to tell me who these shoes, boots, whatever you want to call it, who they belong to. 4 people. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Where am I? How come I'm not on there? Oh, I know why. There we go. Who is it? Who is it? Okay, I'm looking at the entries. All right. So far, we do not have a winner. We do not have a winner. Who is Kishifa? LeBron? LeBron doesn't wrestle in AEW. These are 4 people in AEW. Not bad. Not some bad choices. Not yet. Not yet. Might have to give a hint. Obviously, one of them is a woman. I think people can figure that out. I'm looking closely. Not bad. Not bad. Somebody's getting close. You can't say top flight, even though you probably could, because maybe, more than one person. Brian Lass. Brian Lass is good. He's the guy that does the cornet stuff, right? He's good. I like his stuff. All right, so far, no winners yet. So far, no winners. I will give you one hint. You see that 605? That's not like a TBS thing over there. That was the date for All In. Somebody's close. Somebody wore that as a special boots, but that was advertised everywhere that person was wearing those boots for All In or All Out. Still nobody. Somebody is extremely close. That is, I don't know who Ally is. Probably Allie, but it's not Allie. Larry, you're pretty damn close, but you're not there yet. Pretty damn close. Oh, man. Somebody just threw a name out there that I haven't seen anybody write before. That's pretty freaking close, man. Somebody, if he can figure it out, will get it. I can tell you 2 people already have had 3. I'm sorry for the audio only out there that aren't taking part in this. It's like I said, this is why I do the video. But I can tell you 2 people out there got 3 out of 4. Actually, Sam got 3 out of 4. So just look at Sam's entry. Now you know there's 3 out of 4 correct on there. Wow. All right, I'll give you one other hint. One of the persons... No. Yeah, one of the persons is is wrestled in a tag team. So you could choose one of 2 names because they Ooh. Dude, you are pretty close. Pretty close. I don't know where people are getting Statlander from. It's not Statlander. I will tell you, it's not Statlander. Wow. Oh, wait. Yeah, we got a winner. We got a winner. And you know what? I don't particularly, I'll stop the scrolling. Let's stop the scrolling. You know, I know some of you out there like to see people who are very interactive in the chats win. But, you know, I have lurked on so many podcasts that I never, show my face. I listen as enjoying everything. But I know this person is frequent in the chat quite a bit. And before I show you who won the contest, let me pull up the photos. So, well, actually, you know what? One of them, I can't pull up the photo because we didn't get a full shot of this person wearing these boots. But I will tell you, let's see. We got 1, we got 2, and we got 3. Okay, let me just pull up the last picture, and then I will show you who these people were. Then I'll tell you who won. Okay, first off, the lower right-hand corner, the boots. That was Jade Cargill. So Jade Cargill, that is her. She is notorious for wearing those boots. So Jade Cargill is one of the answers. In the lower left hand, the 605 boots, those were special boots that Cody had made up for, I don't know if it was All Out or All In. It was one of those 2. But those boots were Cody's. That is Cody's boots. Then we have the top left-hand corner, which I was very surprised that a lot of people got wrong, especially if you look just above the ankle of the sneakers. I thought that was a dead giveaway. Orange Cassidy. That is Orange Cassidy. And then the top right-hand corner. I mean, obviously this was for a particular wrestler, but I would have been fine with you choosing either member of the team because they have both worn the same boots. But the top right-hand corner, that was the one I think that threw everybody off. That is none other than, drum roll. Oh, that's not drum roll. I epic fail. I have the wrong soundboard set. There you go. Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, the Acclaimed. That is their boots. I thought the T5 was going to be a dead giveaway, man. I thought that was going to be the dead giveaway for everyone. So as you can see, Joe knew. He knew. He got it right. Orange Cassidy, Jade Cargill, Cody, and Max Caster. So you, my friend, are the winner. Congratulations. Well, it was pretty funny. Everybody stopped typing to let me post, the pictures. That was pretty cool. All right. Very nice, man. I could get back to that. Wow. That was pretty interesting, I honestly thought the Acclaim was going to be one of the easiest because their outfits are pretty consistent. But Joe New, congrats, man. Email me, dontony@dontony.com. Or if you're on Twitter, just send me a DM. And let me know if you want the Bray Wyatt Gym collector's box or if you want the AEW gift card. The gift card will be, an online card. So you just send me your email address and I'll have it emailed to you. Your choice. If you want the Wyatt, just give me a shipping address and I'll send it right out to you. So, yeah. So there you go. I was watching people. I don't know which one of the sneakers did you think was Statlander? I'm a little curious at that because I was checking that out. Why am I disappeared again? Oh, I know why. I keep sitting the wrong one. No, that's not it either. This one, here you go. Which one did you think was Statlander? The sneaker? I'm curious. I don't think anybody thought Statlander wore those Cargill boots. Oh, the Max Cats? Okay. All right. You know, I could see that. Because Statlander has worn those colors. All right. Okay. Look, that was a fun contest. I try to keep it easy, but I don't think, me personally, I don't think contests are fun when they end in 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Like somebody posts a question and somebody literally types the answer before you could even write a word. So I try to make it easy, but something that gives you some time where you don't have to rush and do it within 5 seconds. Trust me, there's a lot of contests I could throw up there that would be over in 5 seconds, but I try to do it and I try to be a little creative. I thought All Elite Feet would be kind of fun. You know, there was nothing. We weren't going to make fun of anyone. I think, you know, some people out there thought, like, what is he going to do? But again, you know, I mean, if I start putting up the pictures of Jungle Boy's feet, people are going to be like, who is, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way to tell. I mean, some wrestlers over the years have had tattoos, like on their foot or right around their ankle area. So I would post someone with a, you know, infamous tattoo. That's different. But in a case like that, no, we would put the boots. So Larry thought the bottom right was Taz. Taz wearing those boots. I think Taz would fall down a flight of stairs if he wore those boots. Could you imagine if he fell? Just imagine Taz wearing these boots and he's approaching like a flight of stairs. Now I could picture him going, whoa, 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 and you just fall right down the stairs. His ankle would probably crack right in half because the edge of the boot would get caught somewhere. That motherfucker, you know what? Somebody's got to ask him. And I mean this lightheartedly. You know, I don't want anybody to get banned over it. But I'm curious if Taz is like walking in the wintertime. Like he parks his car and he's going to buy groceries. If he slips on ice, you know, I mean, me, if I slip, I'm like, oh shit, and I fall. You know, I'll be like, fuck. I wonder if when he slips, if he tries to like grab onto something to catch his fall, does he go, whoa, 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 whoa? Curious. I'm dead serious. I can't ask that. If I ask that in 320 characters, I'll be blocked. I'm not going to lie. I don't like being blocked from people. Because, you know, it's like I try to be down to earth with everyone, and my humor sometimes pisses people off, but, you know, there's a few people over the years that have, and, you know, I feel bad. I don't consider it a badge of I don't consider it a badge of honor. Some people brag about it. Some people get so triggered. They'll say to you 10,000 times, "Oh, I don't care if anybody bans me," but then they'll mention it 10 times. "Hey, I got banned from so and so." Should we take calls? I blocked a few people. I blocked about 500 people in the last year. Some people, you know, for just trying to like push certain things. Obviously, everybody knows my history of doing shows with others, and, you know, some people still to this day try to push that narrative, you know, think that, you know, that something's going to change or this and that. And I feel bad, you know, but some people, I tell them politely in DM messages, I'm like, look, please, let it go. I said, do you want me to like post more things that I have privately to show why things changed? Then what? Then what? To have a whole bunch of people gang up on one person? I don't want that. You know, just enjoy what we do. We have fun and that's it. But some people still push and push and push. They think that they trigger me, you know, with other things, and I just block them, you know. The shadow banning on YouTube is fun, though. The shadow banning is fun. I'm telling you, some of you out there, you get your own YouTube channel in the future, whether you game or you podcast or something, and you get some people that just want to fuck with you, shadow ban them, and it's the most wonderful thing because they have no idea. They have no idea that nobody sees their comments unless they have like an asshole best friend, and they're like, hey, Sammy, do you see my comment? No, I don't see it, bro. Oh, shit. Maybe it got deleted. All right. And then they write negative shit on the next episode. Sammy, what'd you think of what I said about Fatso DT over there? I didn't see anything. It takes him a few months to realize. And then I got this one guy, God bless him, he does his own podcast on YouTube, does video, so I don't want anybody to think there's certain, and he knows he's shadow banned, but he still writes all this horrendous stuff to me, and he's like, DT, Fatso, I know I'm shadow banned, but I know you're going to see this eventually, and he just writes, just goes on and on and on. And I just sit there and I'm like, man, you got too much free time on your hands. But it is what it is. So before we close this contest, one more look at Brandy's feet. I can't zoom in. For what looks to be calluses. But she's cute. I really can't say anything bad about her. I really can't. And you know what? Good for her. You know, she's going to be giving birth. Her and Cody are going to be new proud parents. That's a wonderful thing. I mean, putting all the joking and stuff aside, that's a wonderful thing, man. Seriously. No, Karen Gordon Hill? We have a Darren Gordon Hill. Is Karen Gordon Hill like a sister or a spouse? I actually like Disco Inferno. I have no issues with Disco Inferno. In fact, you know, I don't think he'll ever want to have a little political talk, but I agree with a shitload of what he says. Some of the things he says I think are a little bit too much, but I like Disco Inferno. It is Darren? Oh, so he changed his name. You know what's funny? Speaking of shadow banning, there are a couple of people out there that I want to shadow ban, but they won't go in the chat room and they won't write any comments, so I can't get their ID to shadow ban them. I've searched their names all throughout the net and I can't find their channel ID. And I'm just sitting and waiting. Like, it's almost like fishing. I don't like fishing, but I'm thinking, you know, maybe I got to throw some bait out there and try to falsely invite someone to the chat. Like, hey, show up, let's talk. As soon as you get it, bam, get the channel ID, ban them, done. Twix, what's going on? Austin, Lone Wolf, Harris, Lion, Ken. We're at an hour and 52. Karen Gordon Hill. Karen. All right, let's do this. Let me close out all of these extra photos. Again, if you're tuning in late, you missed this priceless announcement. WWE is actually going to try to do Hell in a Cell match Friday night on SmackDown on Fox, Rey Mysterio versus Roman. I don't know what the hell the purpose is for that, but I am invited to be in Thunderdome at 7:15 p.m., 45 minutes before SmackDown goes on the air. I'm wondering if they're going to record this match early in the night or some type of angle or something. That is going to be interesting. I don't like it, though. You know, I did not like the idea. You know what? I said since WrestleMania Backlash, remember the night of WrestleMania Backlash, I said the two Hell in a Cell matches that should happen is Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. Now I'm starting to wonder if they try to actually give us this match on Fox with no swerve, and Roman Reigns ends up not having a Hell in a Cell match on Sunday, you think there's a possibility that Cesaro and Seth Rollins end up having a Hell in a Cell match after all? I'll tell you the truth. I'd rather see Rollins and Cesaro in the cell than Rey and Roman. This storyline is 1 week. How dare you do that to my son? But Rey did nothing to Dolph and Robert Roode. Yes, they took the tag titles, but they beat the shit out of Dominic in the back how many times and tormented him. And no cry, no tears from Rey. None. Zero. By the way, you know, I forgot to mention this yesterday. It was nice to see Ted DiBiase take one bump. You know, I mean, people were just, I think, losing their shit over it. I'm like, come on, everybody. You know, I know he's like 67 or whatever it is, but he took one bump. He took one back bump. I mean, he felt great. He felt great. But LA Knight just nailed him once. He went down. But I'll tell you, I don't know if anybody noticed it. What I did not like about the beatdown, when Cameron Grimes came to his aid, I don't know if anybody heard it on their TV, because I know I did. I heard a voice say, look at Ted. Look at Ted. Anybody remember that? Look at Ted. And I'm looking at Ted DiBiase. Cameron Grimes is in the ring, made the save. Ted kept doing this. I mean, yes, that is the spot where LA Knight hit him. But to me, like, I'm hearing a voice say, look at Ted. Go back and watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about. And he's holding his chest. And I'm like, oh, God, please. Please. I don't want to see a tweet later on that. But Ted took a nice bump yesterday. You know, we don't see wrestlers, Hall of Famers that age, even taking one bump on WWE television. So maybe that was the promise to Ted. You know, we'll let you take one bump. So, all right. You guys want to take some calls? I'll leave it up to you. So we're right now at 1 hour and 56 minutes. So we could either start wrapping this up now, or we could take some calls and then wrap it up, maybe like 20 to 30 minutes. You know, I know some of you out there, you know, I know we didn't take calls during the show, but we've been answering questions all night. You know, I don't mind the same people calling in. Be cool if we get some new people calling. And all I ask, like I say, whatever is on your mind, ask. You don't have to hold back. You know, no reason for me to hold back. But just keep it to the point as much as possible so we could get through a whole bunch of calls. Wow, we didn't budge from 86 after that contest. I thought after a pretty awesome contest, we'd have a bunch of others smashing that like button, but it's all good. It's all good. All right, so we could get rid of this contest. Let's get the template. Here's the calls. All right, here we go. That's one. Oh, yeah, we got to put the shirt on there. Cut the music. Let's put up the number. I haven't removed the Do Not Disturb yet, everyone. Let me just get everything ready. There we go. So it is 225 Don Tony. And if you need the numbers, it's 225-366-8669. Or if you need a toll-free number, you could call 833-DON-VM-VM, which is 833-366-8686. So pretty easy to remember. So I am going to remove the Do Not Disturb. And within a couple of seconds, we should get some calls pop up. And we'll take some calls. We'll do it for about half hour. Oh, wait. Why is the ringer going on? I'll fix that. Good evening. You are on. Who is this?
Anthony, how you doing? This is crazy.
You know, I got that guy's voicemail probably right here, too. I don't know if I could pull it up with you on the phone. You know, when you hang up, when you're done, I'll play that message for that guy so everybody could hear it. I mean, look, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but he's dead. What's he going to do? I have a Super Mario theme, but I just put everything on Do Not Disturb. So, what's going on?
All right, yeah. Well, first I gotta apologize for my Nexus flub yesterday, saying was Heath Slater and David Otunga. It was Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel. That was like the main tag team.
Okay.
So,
it's all good.
Second of all, DT, I know you're welcome to disagreement. So I gotta tell you, I know you want the whole with Dunn and Cross thing where Dunn like could pretend to break Scarlett's fingers. I know you would be fine with that. I kind of would too, but I could also see the backlash coming from it from like certain websites, not a lot, but some websites talking about WWE is continuing to show that they don't know how to treat women well, and they have to injure a woman during a storyline to get a main event over, you know, because I see a lot of hate for Cross online, and it's not fair to him, but that's just me, DT. it's a lot of things. I would just be like, that one angle could just, like, it's like the littlest thing now in an angle will just get wrestling fans upset too much now.
Yeah, but you got to get to a point sometimes where you got to just avoid the noise. I mean, he's not really breaking Scarlett's fingers, and she's got those cat claw things anyway, so I don't even... Then again, you know, maybe that's why they can't even do something like that, for the simple reason that, you know, it could break her props, you know? But I just personally think that would give him nuclear heat. I mean, I could just picture Pete Dunne doing that, and then just, you know, with that, you know, I could just picture the Capitol. I could picture Beth Phoenix screaming at the top of her lungs. The problem is, now they've taken the direction where Karrion Kross is a heel. So it wouldn't make sense for Pete Dunne to do that to Scarlett now. If they were pushing Kross as a babyface, then I could see it. So right now, I do not see... Wouldn't make sense for Dunne to do that.
Right.
So I think it's going to end up being Joe versus Kross. Because that seed being planted that, you know, you don't do anything unless provoked, Karrion Kross now has to attack him from behind. Karrion Kross has to lay out Samoa Joe. We have to see Joe knocked out somewhere. And then people think it's Adam Cole. They may even do a storyline where we think it's Adam Cole behind this. And then maybe some footage comes out, you know, some GTV shit, and it shows Karrion Kross laying out Samoa Joe. So that could very well happen.
Right. Yeah, and it was Jim Johnston who wrote the Ass Man lyrics.
Oh, my God. Are you serious? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it was him.
I'm surprised that Jim had that in him to go that deep with ass. So...
Well, it does happen, but I am curious. I don't know if you would bring on Mish Wednesday just to, like, when I reveal, like, the top 10 tag teams.
If he wants to come on, yeah. If he wants to come on,
I think that, you know, that's like a discussion. You should have, like, spur of the moment to, like, really, really get both sides of your opinions on that.
You know what I think might be better? I think this Wednesday you reveal the final list. Then next week we'll probably comment on. But, you know, no, actually, because I think a lot of people that spur of the moment that's where they're going to have the most emotion. So I'll ask Mish if he wants to come on, even if he just wants to come on for one segment. I'll see if he wants to come on. So, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you know, like, I want to get hear both of your thoughts on that, because I'm pretty sure, like, I'll probably, like, send Mish a link. I'll send Mish the 3 links to, like, show him what's what he could, like, know in advance. But that's mainly it. But you know, other than that, you know, just good show as always. You know, have a good night. You know,
too, my friend.
And I will message you about going to Arthur Ashe Stadium, actually, since I am in Brooklyn. Yeah. So you know.
Yeah, and
you know,
be on the lookout tomorrow. That episode that you wanted of the Minority Report right after the Signature Pharmacy scandal. That's going up tomorrow.
Right. No problem.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Have a good night, my friend.
All right, you too, man.
Take care. Lee, I didn't even realize I said that. I actually said that about Jim Johnson. I said Jim went that deep with ass. I didn't realize I actually said that like that. Good evening. You're on. What's up?
Good evening. You're on.
Just lower the volume down on the computer.
RMJ23.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I saw on Rey Mysterio's Twitter page at 8:06 he wanted to face Roman Reigns on Friday, and then at 9:31 they made the announcement.
Okay, all right. It's interesting because obviously we expected that match to happen Sunday. So now Rey wants the challenge. The only issue I have with it is, where is Adam Pearce? You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you're going to do a storyline on the net, maybe it would have been wise for Adam Pearce. And, for, you know what, for all we know, maybe he did. But maybe Adam Pearce should have been the one to post a tweet, say, you know what? After talking it over with Sonya, we agree. And Friday, it will be Roman versus Rey, Hell in a Cell. And then WWE could retweet what Adam Pearce said, and you do it that way. You know, it's just... they're very, very shoddy with Adam Pearce's use sometimes. But then again, we could be swerved. I could picture SmackDown happening on Friday and Roman saying, I'm not fighting in a cell. I'm not. Or you know what? Maybe Roman Reigns forces Jimmy Uso to take on Ray in the cell. You know, maybe he forces someone else. Or maybe Jay says, I'll fight him in the cell. So I unless they decided to go with Cesaro and Rollins in the cell, or they're just trying to spice up this storyline, and we may get Roman and Ray in the cell Sunday after all. This, I think, is being done tomorrow with a swerve. I just can't see them giving away a match that important, even though the storyline's been short. I just can't see them giving that on Fox. The rating is not going to skyrocket because this is on TV. It's gonna. The more I think about it, the more I expect some swerve. I mean, Roman's not going to have Piper Niven come out and fight for him, but I wouldn't be surprised if Roman refuses or it ends with some BS and they still have the Hell in a Cell on Sunday.
All right. Good talk.
Oh, same here, my friend. Have a good night. Take care. Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
Okay. You know, somebody pointed out the Ray possibly with an injury. If he was injured that bad, I think they would just take him out. They could just do an injury storyline on TV. Hey, how's it going? Oh, we lost him? Okay, we lost him. 225-366-8669 or toll free 833-366-8686 if you want to call in. I just removed the do not disturb again. I don't know why it does that. I can't wait to use the other program somebody hooked me up with. We'll do that next week. Good evening. You're on. Who's this?
Hey, Don Tony. This is X Elion from the chat.
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, just wanted to say, you've really done a great job over the years. Been listening for about 10 plus years.
Thank you.
Don't want to ramble, but they say how the Beatles, listening to the Beatles got people through college or whatnot. That's what your show has been for me. And, just continue doing what you're doing. But yeah, my question, I recall you told the story about when the first ECW video game came out. You were really looking forward to it, and then when you played it, you were very disappointed. So, I'd like to know, do you think that wrestling games should be more realistic, or do you think they should be more arcade-style, more fun, gameplay-oriented?
Well, I like, the realism. I like, but, I went through, the 80s with wrestling video games. And the arcade games are still fun to play, whether you use like a Raspberry Pi or something else. WCW versus NWO, or it was WCW versus the World. I don't remember, World Tour. That was one of my favorite video games of all time with wrestling. And the graphics were great at the time, but now you look at it and it's, nowhere near it. I think people just want good gameplay. They got to address the glitches, because some of the stuff that was coming out, like, how do you not, you got to address that. I mean, we're in the age now where any art video game is going to look good. If you have to sacrifice, I mean, we don't need to see, like they showed today, AEW showed the footage of Darby Allin in the game. And this shit is creepy, how realistic it looks. I mean, it's just insane. Then they showed him fighting a bot, hitting a couple of moves, and they showed him doing the coffin drop once or twice. It looked okay, but I think people out there would rather sacrifice a little bit of the realism of it for better gameplay and not all this shoddy glitches and everything like that. I mean, look, SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. I remember when that game came out, it was so popular that I had a section on my website for about 2 years of creator wrestler galleries. Like, people just got so consumed in that game. And the graphics were good enough, but the gameplay was solid. So I think the gameplay is more important than anything else. That's what the problem was with the ECW. Like, I didn't care that much as far as how the wrestlers looked. They looked good enough. You know, like New Jack looked like New Jack. Sabu looked like Sabu, RVD. But just the moves, and I don't know if anybody remembers this, but you would just be standing there, and it's all they would do is this. And you go on YouTube, just watch it. You'll see. I put on the game, and the first thing, like, I'm looking at the ring. All right, it doesn't look like the ECW arena, and it's not perfect, but okay, it's fine. And I see these moves, and I'm just saying to myself, like, what is this? And then I stop, and then just this. It just, the gameplay is so much more important. Even the Legends of Wrestling games, even though the bodies were a little bit distorted, if the gameplay would have been a little bit better, it would have been one of my favorite games of all time. So the gameplay, I think, is more important.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because that reminds me of your reference to the whole scrambled porn thing. It's like you have to use your imagination to make up for what's not being given to you. Exactly.
And we're in 2021, so the technology and the amount of room that you have on these games to do more, there's no reason why the gameplay isn't solid. I could understand going back, in the day, and, you have those cassettes and the 8 bits and all that stuff, but 2021, there is no excuse for gameplay to be shoddy. And I think sometimes too many places concern themselves with being the most realistic as far as the visual, but then when the gameplay comes, we could see it's so realistic, but if we want that realistic, we just watch the wrestlers on TV. If the gameplay sucks, after a day or two, you're going to put the joystick down and you're not going to play. The gameplay is what keeps it going.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
1,000%. Here Comes the Pain, one of my favorites. Used to use Goldberg all the time.
Yeah.
Back when Goldberg was my favorite wrestler, and just steamroll the entire roster in the slobber knocker match. Good times.
Awesome times.
Don't want to hold up any more of your time. Thank you so much, DT.
Thank you.
Keep up the great work, and I'll continue listening.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great night, my friend. That's awesome, man. Brings back some great memories with the video games. That's pretty awesome. I think a lot of you will agree on that. Sacrifice, every little detail, the extra details, and just give us solid gameplay. Put it this way. If some of the wrestlers are missing some attributes, you can always create them. Give me solid gameplay. That's why even the old arcade games I still enjoy, because the gameplay was always solid. Good evening, you're on. Who's this?
Hey, Don Tony, it's Steven from yesterday.
Hey, Steven.
How's it going?
Good. Good evening.
First of all, I just wanted to say, I like how you bring out the energy. Like you say, it's Thursday night. I just like that,
Look, if I was talking to dead air, or if there was nobody around, I could probably still, but you don't feel it here. I see so many of you tuning in every day and sticking around for long periods. I mean, I know that takes up a lot of time on a lot of people, and I keep saying, and believe me when I tell you, I'm trying my hardest to trim the shows down, not because I don't want to do it, but because I realize I'm asking too much to have people tune in for that many hours a week. And the problem is, what ends up happening is you do 2-3 hours a night. In there's going to be some awesome conversations. I got a lot of feedback from the Jake Atlas stuff from yesterday. I got a lot of feedback from the Piper Nevin stuff. But if there's no timestamps, and I did put timestamps up yesterday, but if someone is not going to listen to the whole show, they'll never get to the parts of that. And, so that's why I want to really start cutting down. But the fact that everybody tunes in, man, it's energy. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling, and as long as I can keep pushing them out, I'll do it.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. What's on your mind tonight?
I actually had 2 questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had 2. I don't want to make these questions longer, so I'll just put it like this.
Sure.
My first question was about a pay-per-view that was in 2001. It was WWF Survivor Series.
Okay.
And I wanted to know. I didn't watch that pay-per-view because I was born during that era, but I wanted to know what's your thoughts on that pay-per-view, and did you like the outcomes that were made that night?
Well, let's do this. Let's pull up Survivor Series 2001, and let me read the card. Let me read the card to everyone so everyone could remember what was going on tonight. And the funny thing is, if anybody goes back and look, Tori Wilson and Lita were on the front of the poster, the main poster that was out at that time. But this was your card for Survivor Series that time. The Sunday Night Heat match was just incredible. Lance Storm and Raven on behalf of the Alliance. They beat Albert, Scotty 2 Hotty, and Spike Dudley. Christian beat Al Snow to retain the European Championship. Christian was part of the Alliance. Al Snow was part of the WWF. William Regal, and it was just, I remember that match was a bullshit match with Tajiri. I mean, obviously it was the falling out of Regal and Tajiri, but they had a brief 3-minute match. Edge, who was the U.S. champion at the time on behalf of WWF, he defeated Test, who was the Intercontinental Championship. And that was a unification match. So the U.S. title was going bye-bye and the IC title was staying. Out of everything that night, I mean, that's probably one of the matches that I think is overlooked, because to get a decent 5-minute match out of Test was difficult, and they went over 10 minutes that night. That match is, I think, a little bit underappreciated after all these years. But, and that wasn't, the only work Test did that night, because they had the Immunity Battle Royal, and Test won the Immunity Battle Royal. But the 2 other matches that were very important that night, the women's match was as well, but a lot of you may remember this match. It was the 6-pack challenge for the vacant women's championship. Trish, representing WWF, beat Ivory, representing the Alliance. Jazz, representing the Alliance. Jacqueline, representing WWF. And Mighty Molly, who is representing the Alliance. A lot of people forget that. So Trish Stratus became the women's champion that night. You had the Dudleys, who were the WCW tag champs at that time. Stacy Keibler was their valet. Remember, they ultimately would turn on Stacy, put her to her table. Not that night, though. They beat the Hardys, and this was a steel cage unification match. This unified the WCW and WWF championships. And I'm getting to something in a second. We got the one last match. Winner take all. 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. You had Team WWF, which was The Rock, Chris Jericho, The Undertaker, Kane, and The Big Show. They beat the alliance of Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, and Shane McMahon. The most important thing about this pay-per-view was, to me, this was the beginning of the end of the Alliance storyline. WCW went out of business in March of 2001. ECW went out of business right around March of 2001. And, we had WrestleMania, which was a little too soon. Then we had the pay-per-view. Oh, God, I'm drawing a blank. What was the pay-per-view?
Rebellion?
No, right after WrestleMania. Chat room, bail me out on this one. Invasion. Sorry, I didn't need you. Invasion. Invasion, was the big pay-per-view. And I've been saying it since the night it happened. That pay-per-view, we knew everybody that was going to be on that card. People say to this day that it was one of the worst angles and this and that. Look at the buy rate for Invasion. Everybody knew what they were paying for. So at that time, right after WrestleMania, it looked like that WCW could very well stay. Yes, we had the debacle with Buff Bagwell and, everything with that. But as the months went by, you could just feel that this storyline was going to lead to WWF ultimately winning everything, and you started to get belts unified. And little by little, those WCW championships were going away, and Survivor Series really pretty much left that WWF survived, and yes, they still did storylines with Angle and Austin and, Vince, but in the end, this kind of represented the beginning of the end of this whole idea that we could possibly have ECW and, WCW all together, in the WWF and have their own separate brand and maybe a separate show. It was just the beginning of the end. It was good while it lasted, but that angle, that storyline only lasted about 6 months, 6, 7 months, 8 months tops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that last match, though, was like 44 minutes. That's,
yeah.
yeah.
It needed to go that long.
Yeah.
Because of the storyline of what was on the line. That's why. I mean, we're not just talking about a title, which should be important, but you're talking about the promotions, winner take all, But, what was awesome is ultimately we had Ric Flair show up as the consortium. And then I never forget, that him and Vince were partners, and Vince with my favorite facial reaction in my entire life as a wrestling fan. And I don't have it here, but if anybody Googles it, it's that infamous reaction when Ric Flair showed up and Vince is in the ring and he's like this. It's just, I couldn't stop laughing when I saw that. That was amazing.
Yeah, what's crazy is that I have the DVD for that pay-per-view.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. It wasn't a bad pay-per-view. Things felt like it meant something, but in the end, we all knew WWF was going to prevail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said you had another question.
Oh yeah. So, have you ever thought of making a tier list for any subject?
A what list?
A tier list.
Cheer list? What's that?
I can type it. I can type it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm curious. Yeah. Type it in the chat. I'm curious what that is. Look, I always say this. I welcome any ideas from anyone out there that a tier list.
Yeah.
A tier, but it's in what way? What do you mean? In what way, as far as a tier list?
Like naming the top wrestlers and the.
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah.
We actually, I'm not kidding. This is why I don't like going on Twitter as much, because you don't get that much a reaction. I think I'm going to start posting on the community section. Last week, it was, who did it? I can't remember who did it, but it was somebody, high up in wrestling. They did a power top 5 of the week. Power, the top 5 wrestlers of the week. They had Karrion Kross on there. They had LA Knight on there. And I had posted, I said, what do you all think about maybe once a week, Mish and I do that? Like, we'll look back at the week and we'll give our top 5 power players. Like, what 5 wrestlers, any promotion that, I think had the biggest, advancement or had the biggest week. You don't just get it sometimes by winning. Sometimes you could be on that list even if you lost a match, if you put in that kind of efforts. But I was thinking about doing that every week. Like I'd say to Mish, okay, Mish, from last week, who's your top 5 that stood out to you that had like a really good week, and then we could do that weekly. Doing like a power 10 or a power 25, that's really, really difficult because especially if you're going to blend in a whole bunch of different promotions, then it gets really heavy on one side. Yeah. But I like the idea of doing,
or like the top pay-per-views of the year.
Yeah, we could do that too. Sure.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, definitely. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're still tuning in towards the end of the year, bring it up again. We'll give you complete credit for it. And at the end of the year, we'll give maybe our top 10. Because, we will have quite a few pay-per-views. So we'll do like a top 10 or maybe a top 5 if there weren't that many that stood out. But I'm telling you, the second half of 2021 is going to be a really good one for wrestling fans. SummerSlam is good.
Fans.
Yeah, SummerSlam is going to be epic. AEW is going to go out of their way to just go crazy. I mean, look at Double or Nothing. I mean, that was truly, like, for me, the first pay-per-view where I felt like things were back to normal as far as fans. So now we're getting into the summertime, and, people really got to look compared to 2 months ago how fewer COVID cases there are. It's drastic. In New York, the cases are down 96 or 97% in a couple of months. So the second half is going to be an incredible 6 months for us as wrestling fans. 5 months.
Yeah, Don Tony, I'm gonna cry when that August hits, when the fans come back. Like, it's gonna be,
it's gonna be awesome, man. And you know what?
Yeah.
A week later, you know what? The day after, or the 2 days after, when it's Raw, and they have live fans also, it's gonna feel like back to normal. So it'll be good. I mean, there's going to be a lot of emotion, but that's good. That's good. Yeah. That shows that we finally, we know that the pandemic is this close to being over. So as wrestling fans, once we see that and see it every week, after 1 or 2 weeks, it's going to be a distant memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thank you very much for calling in today. Great questions as always.
Yeah.
Have a good night, my friend.
Problem. Thanks for.
You're welcome.
Have a good night. Yeah.
Take care. Yeah, Lee is saying, let's get to 100 likes. Lee, you want to know something? A lot of people do it on the download. You know what's interesting? I'll tell everybody this. I'm going to put the Do Not Disturb on for a second. You know what's interesting? I'll give you a little stat about the YouTube stuff that a lot of you may not know. This is something that, if anybody's noticed, I hope you may have noticed something. If you look at my episode page, the playlists, I hope everyone thinks that over the last month or so, the thumbnails have gotten significantly better. I mean, yes, I always will fall back sometimes on Mondays of Mission I like this, and I put like a little, it's easy, to fall back on that. And I don't mind doing it. But I've been really working hard trying to get better at thumbnails. And the reason why I say that is when I watch podcasts on YouTube, and I don't watch my own, sometimes I watch my own stuff back just to see if my audio levels are good. If I'm doing this a little bit too much, if I'm playing with my glasses, that some people have said to me in the past, like, you play your glasses a lot. I try to look at the lighting so it's not too blue, my hair and stuff. But when I watch other people's shows, I watch it either on my TV through my Roku or I watch it on my computer. Do you know, no joke, on YouTube that about 70% of you that watch the video watch through a mobile phone? It's only about 15% of you that actually watch the shows through a computer. That blows me away. I think only 11 or 12% watch through a TV. And I'm saying to myself, holy shit, you look at some of those old thumbnails where I would put like 10 pictures on it, and I'm like, somebody's scrolling through shows on a mobile phone, and the thumbnail's about this big, and I'm saying to myself, they couldn't make out anything that I was writing. So little things like that is stuff that amazes me. I had no idea that many of you tune in with a mobile phone. So that's why even like when I put stuff on the screen now, I try to put it big, because you put a little box, you're on a mobile phone, you'd be like, huh? What the hell is that? Pretty interesting. Yeah, I got to show you all a screenshot next week. It's like 15%. I was blown. I expected a majority to be computer, and then you would have maybe TV and mobile phone splitting, but no, it's about 70% mobile phone. That's kind of mind-boggling. Nate Tabor. Nate Tabor. What's going on, Nate? Daniel Guerrero. And, we could put some shout-outs back on the screen. Give everybody a moment. So, how long are we going? 2 hours, 30 minutes? Should we wrap it? Because remember, I'm going to be back here tomorrow again. People better not get sick of it. Tomorrow, we're going to do SmackDown recap. Remember, I'll be on Thunderdome at 7:15. So if something goes down between 7:15 and 8 p.m., I will post it in the community. So I'll post it on Twitter also for anybody that's going to see that. But, if I'm not, look, I don't have to be on TV. But since I have so much prep to do, if I'm on Thunderdome tomorrow and I don't see myself on the screen, I'm going to disconnect probably within half an hour. But tomorrow I'm going to do a SmackDown recap. We'll do a little bit of a live watch along with AEW. It's actually been pretty easy to do the last 2 weeks. The only thing that's been difficult is you have to go 2 hours because AEW is a 2-hour show. And then we have Hell in a Cell predictions. So during the AEW tomorrow, if there's a couple of matches that kind of hit a lull, we'll sneak in some talk about SmackDown. We'll sneak in some talk with the Hell in a Cell predictions. And we'll do that. So, yeah, I think we'll call it. Yeah, Conor McGregor fans, you said only 10 years ago, most of the viewing was on a computer. There's a lot of info that you'd be pretty surprised when you look it up. I mean, it blows me away. Even the demographics, just a little thing. This is why I say, when you do shows, you got to do it for your audience, what they want to hear. You don't want to isolate a large chunk of your people. And when I first started, it pretty much was the same format as before, just with a little video edit, and it was still new. But I noticed on YouTube that my biggest age demographic was 50 and over. And it's not that I don't want 50 and over, but I was looking at it and I was like, and then as I started to have a little fun and joke and use the video and do little skits and this and that, I noticed the age demographic going lower, and lower. So now 25 to 34 is my number one demographic. 35 to, I think, 49 is the number two demographic. And the number three demographic, I think, is the 50 and above. But it's interesting. And I think that's also because I eliminated almost all the political talk. If you notice, I mean, literally, I know Trump isn't president anymore, but even before he left office, you heard virtually no talk about Trump on these shows. So, Near, much love, my friend. Yeah, look, there's been war, and there's been hate, there's been racism, there's been violence, and there's been crime for hundreds of years. It ain't going away anytime soon. But we ourselves can do what we can do amongst our inner circle. I know it sounds kind of like trivial, but, just worry about your inner circle. You see people, treat them like you want to be treated. I still, even though I had that incident with that person at the post office, I still hold doors open for people. I just do what I always did. You just be nice to people. Shouldn't be difficult, I mean, I see some of these videos of the Karens, and what do they call the guys now? I know they call the women Karens, but what do they call the guys? But I see these people just losing their shit. Somebody got arrested because they wouldn't mix slushy flavors together. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Kevin's, is that what they call them? Kevin's? Interesting name of choice. Kevin's. Karens and Kevin's. Well, they do sound very similar. But I see people losing over dumb shit. And I'm like, come on, man. The gang violence is out of control. I just try to worry about me. I worry about the people around me. And I try to stay away from controversy. It sucks. But I'm with you, Near. I'm with you. Yeah. Oh, Kevin Milwaukee's listening live. He says, they do not call them Kevins. They're Kens, Kevins. Oh, trust me, Kevin, I'm sure you're cool. Not every Kevin is bad out there. Don't ask me to start individually judging people. We're not going there. But Kens, so they're Kens, okay. Kens and Karens. But it's amazing how people lose their shit over dumb stuff, man. I mean, even the gang stuff. I mean, I don't pay attention to the gangs, but I've been watching on the news a little bit about some of these shootings, and we're finding out that some of these shootings happen simply because somebody called somebody like a bad name on social media. They insulted him on social media, so they showed up and blew their brains out. That's crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. You want to know something, everyone? I don't remember the name. I'll mention it next week. I got an email from a social media platform. I never heard of it before. I don't remember the name of it. It began with a W. And they're launching an app in a couple of months. I don't know if it's Wisdom. I don't remember what it's called, but basically what it is they have people that are on there, and what they do is they're supposed to like uplift people, give them inspiration, little advice, little real talk. And somebody actually reached out to me and said that they would love for me to do a show on that channel, not about wrestling, but just talking like this. And I didn't respond to them, and I'm saying to myself, there's no way. There ain't no way. There's no way. So I'm looking at the chat before we go because I want to start wrapping this up. It's 12:43 a.m. over here. Look, I'm always here for all of you. Seriously. And I appreciate all of you that support the shows. It means more than you can imagine. We all go through a lot of shit. Some of you 1,000 times worse than I will ever go through. But I love the fact that, we could all hang out, no friction. I mean, we can disagree and we could criticize and have some laughs and joke around and everything, but none of this malicious hate. It's just, it just sucks to see. And it sucks to see how some people are so popular and 90% of what they talk about is negative. And there's nothing wrong with criticizing something if you offer solutions. But people out there will just shit, and criticize and joke and shit. And they offer no solutions. And that gets insane attention. There's just there's too big of an audience out there that just want to rip on everything. I know because of COVID and not being able to do the things that we normally do, and you just want to if nobody could hear you just want to yell at the top of your lungs in frustration, So I get the stress, but there's got to be a better way. I see people out there that I don't get why that is so popular. But I do also notice now, what's with all these women on Twitch that are sitting in inflatable tubs in their houses? I mean, how long has that been going on Twitch? Somebody sent me a DM yesterday and said, check this chick out on Twitch. She's a wrestling fan. I check it out, and she's in a bikini. It's live. She's in a bikini. There's this giant inflatable pool in her house, and she's got like balls in the pool, and she's got a marker, and she's writing people's names on the balls. And in the corner it says, donate $10, I write your name on a ball. The ball hits the water, the ink immediately rubs off on it. Give me $20, I write your name on this cardboard thing. Give me $50, I write your name on a body part. And this woman last night made about $4,000. And I'm saying to myself, oh my God, there's one guy, I don't remember his name. I'm sure one of you out there knows who I'm talking about. There's one guy, I thought it was a joke. I thought he was just spoofing one of these girls. He was live yesterday, and he's got an inflatable pool thing in his house, and he's got a fucking swing, and he's wearing like next to nothing, and he's swinging on this swing, and people are just dumping money on this guy. Oh God, somebody out there's got to know who I'm talking about. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm baffled. I mean, I could understand, $5, $10, OnlyFans, you know where I'm going with that. But I saw this last night and I was like, that's incredible. That's why the MJF thing earlier today didn't surprise me at all. It just blew me away how quickly it took. I mean, just think about the amount of money that is going to be generated in 1 week. We're not even in 24 hours yet, and you're talking a couple of $100,000. That's fucking crazy. That is crazy, man. No, he was not on the swing with Lily, Corey. This guy was by himself yesterday. He had a beard, and this guy was just... It wasn't like heterosexual, homosexual. It wasn't anything, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, the guy was just doing this. I didn't have the volume up, so I don't know what music he was listening to, but he was just swinging on this thing on the pool, and he had all these like props in the thing and rubber ducks and everything, and people are just dumping money. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. I wish I could do that, man. Seriously. I mean, I got the chicken over here, but what am I going to do? I just don't have any rooms, even at the parents' house. I don't have any rooms that big. Oh, let me take this number off. I didn't realize we had that damn number up there. Sorry. But I didn't realize that is like what everybody's dumping their money right now. It's just thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm baffled. So good for them, man. Good for them. The guy yesterday was no like model. You know what I mean? I tell you the truth, he reminded me of Cameron Grimes with shorter hair. He reminded me of Cameron Grimes. Just swinging on a swing in an inflatable pool inside his house. And I'm like, what room could that possibly fit in? A living room? It was crazy, man. Twitch thoughts, is that what it is? I tried to put my shows on Twitch, and I thought that there was like almost like YouTube, that maybe there's an audience on Twitch that likes to hang out on Twitch and wants to check out a wrestling show on there. And I set everything up, and I took all this crash course to understand this and that and this, and I get everything set up. I put it on there, 3 listeners. I'm like, no, man, I'm not getting into that category with other people out there. There's some people out there that act like they have like the greatest podcast in the world until you see their stats and they have 40 people tuning in. There's one in particular that some people try to rub in my face for some reason, and I ignore it. I resist the urge, but I go and I look at the stat and I say, okay, 57 views between audio and video, 41,000. I don't know what the people are trying to do. And you know what? I always tell people out there, if you start out new and you only get 10, 20, 50 people tuning in, think about that for a minute. You just start a show and you got 50 people tuning in. That could be like a giant McDonald's, like filled with people. Then you get 100 people that tune in, and that could be like a little wedding reception. Then you get 500 people tuning in, and that's like a little wrestling arena, an indie wrestling event. Then you get 10,000 people to tune in during the week, and that's like a minor league stadium. And then you get 30, 40,000 between audio and video, and that's like a major league ballpark. So, you got to do it because you enjoy it, and you build your base slowly. But for me, after doing this for 4 decades, when I went on Twitch and I saw the number and I saw 3, I'm like, okay, maybe Twitch is not a good idea. So I stopped for a little while. And then I had a few people say to me, like, why'd you stop the Twitch? I said, there's not that many people that tune in over there. So I started again, and I think one episode I got 1. I almost wanted to give a prize to the person who was on Twitch that night. So for some reason, people are trying to get me to play video games. So I don't picture myself as far as being a gamer. Like, I wouldn't mind gaming with some of you for fun, but I don't see myself going on Twitch, with the little screen in the corner and gaming and stuff like that. I just don't see that. So, but anyway, everyone, it's been great. I thank you as always for tuning in. Much love. I mean, I had a great time tonight. We have great time every night, and great questions also with the call-ins, and it was fun. It was fun. I am going to put this online for my audio-only family out there, and once again, I invite you that if you're around tomorrow night, you want to hang out, the show's going to go 2 hours tomorrow. When AEW is done, I should have already been done talking about SmackDown and Hell in a Cell. It might go a few minutes over, but expect the show to be around 2 hours, 15 minutes. But tomorrow night, I'll be up here at 10. We'll do AEW Live Watch. We'll do Hell in a Cell predictions. We'll cover SmackDown and see what trolling WWE gives us tomorrow. And then, again, I'll be in Thunderdome early. If anything goes down in that 45-minute time period, I will post it online and let you know. And we'll see what happens. So yesterday was Pac's birthday. All right, cool. Cool, man. Cool. Larry Rovers, thank you for the kind words, my friend. I'm looking over here, and I'm like, wait, chat room's over here, too. Oh, yeah, and I'm actually pointing. There we go. Yeah. Austin, you have a great night, Kevin. The good Kevin. Corey, Ken. Now, let me make clear, when I said the good Kevin, I'm talking about the Karen stuff before. I don't want anybody to say, oh, he was taking a shot towards someone else, please. How old am I? Come on. Corey, have a good night as well. Be well, everyone. One last time, if you don't mind, smash that like button. There we go. Little sound. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. If you know anyone out there that may not be aware of the show and you think they may actually like it, let them check it out. I am going to work on some additional graphics. What I want to start doing is I want to start having it automatically. Like when somebody calls in, I could do something like this. You see that? But I want to do it where I have now one of those Elgato Stream Decks. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but I have a Stream Deck with a whole bunch of presets. And what I plan on doing is I plan on putting a whole bunch of names in there. So when someone calls in, I just press a button and the person's name pops right up. So gonna mess around with that. There's so many things going on at the same time. It's fun, man. As long as you keep tuning in, that gives me the incentive to just keep going. So I thank you, everyone. I'm having a good time doing this, and we'll continue it tomorrow. So as I've always been doing for the last 2 weeks, and I will continue doing it, and we will leave you with one last outro. So good night, everybody. Thank you again.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster. For me to live any other way was nuts. To me, those goody-good people who worked shitty jobs for bum paychecks and took the subway to work every day and worried about their bills were dead. I mean, they were suckers. They had no balls. If I wanted something, I just took it. I ran everything. I paid the bills. I paid the host. I even paid the masked maniac. Everybody had their hands out. Everything was for the taking. We always called each other good fellas. You would always hear from somebody. You're gonna like Don Tony. He's alright. He's a good fella. He's one of us. But if you're part of my crew, nobody ever tells you they're gonna get rid of you. It doesn't happen that way. There weren't any arguments or curses like in the movies. See, your haters come with smiles. They come as your friends, the people who've claimed they care the most for your life. And now that's all over. And that's the best part. Today everything is different. There's lots of action. I don't have to wait around for everything like everyone else. Oh, I didn't get the vaccine? Fuck you, vaccine me. Oh, your delivery guy has COVID? Fuck you, feed me. Right after I moved here, I ordered egg noodles and ketchup, and I got spaghetti with meat sauce. I'm no longer an average nobody, while they get to live the rest of their lives like a bunch of schnooks. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a podcaster.
Oops. Night, everybody.